listeners and readers of AwardsWatch.com. This is the Awards Watch Podcast, episode 297. I'm your executive editor, Ryan McQuade. Joining me today is a packed house. Our editor-in-chief, Erik Anderson. Sorry, I almost said
Hello.
Our associate editor, Sophia Ciminello.
Hi, guys.
Dan Bayer.
Hello, everybody.
Josh Parham.
Hello.
And I'm surprised he's still here, Jay Ledbetter.
This reminds me of like when I compose an email at work and it's like I need to put the people in the email in order of title. Like it's like I got to be very careful about hurting executives' feelings by putting them in order of title.
Does that say that you were last?
So it is fair that I'm last. Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm just glad
You're
that
basically an intern at this point. You should.
Yeah. I'm sort of the Robert De Niro of the podcast. Yeah, the intern.
Damn it! All right, we're already starting off strong. Well, Jay, while you're
we're
getting
not going to talk De Niro today, though.
No, we're not. But you could go get everybody's coffees while I talk about the fact that we're here for the 1975 Oscars. We're here to talk in our retrospective, another retrospective. So if you're listening out there, can't wait for your comments on YouTube about this episode and what we think as we play another round for the 48th Academy Awards. Everybody
Ryan,
excited?
I love that you will never let the comments go.
I'll never let them go. No, you got to read them. At this point, they're part of a retrospective. They're going to come and they're going to be great. And I can't wait to hear them, read them.
Yeah.
They're going to be wonderful.
Most recently went to a Coldplay concert on this episode with a partner.
Wow.
Can't say that I have.
From this company?
We'll skip that.
Very happy to say I have never been to a Coldplay concert.
Eric?
We could have a whole Coldplay aside.
No, we're not.
But we're not going to do it.
We're not going to do that today.
We are not doing that.
You need to be focused today. Though you did your job, Jay. You did a bunch of watching for this. Like you always do that for these retrospective episodes.
Yeah. I'm very
Some people
to
don't. This group always does do their homework.
Yeah.
And I am appreciative of that because we like to be able to watch all these films and talk about most of these performances. Jay,
I didn't rewatch anything ahead of this.
And then there's Eric, who just uses his memory, which is shaky.
That is being generous.
What if there was a locust? People are asking.
What if that locust had a day?
A single day.
Just a day.
1975, 50 years. It's a big
50
year.
years.
Big year for this lineup, big year for some of these films we're going to talk about. Eric, I'm going to start with you. 1975, this film year, looking at it, I know you didn't do any rewatches, but I know you've seen all these films. Talk about a little bit about what this film year means to you and this lineup that we have here in Best Picture, which I'm going to go ahead and say is like one of the greatest Best Picture lineups of all time, if not maybe the greatest of all time.
Well, yes. I mean, 74 and 75 just sort of hit the most insane place for Best Picture and just really kind of just for Oscar nominations in general. And, I still think the 70s are the best decade of movies that we've ever had. But there's something so strange about this year and the Oscars because the nominations that we have generally are some of the best in the absolute history. And I do think the Best Picture lineup probably is the best of all time. But when you look at the year overall, it's not a great year of film. It's actually really, really bad.
Shallow.
So the fact that we got the nominations that we got is one of those examples of they really did pick the best. There isn't a lot of really bad filler. There definitely is, and we'll go into the ones that are. But it's an impossibly good year. I was definitely too young to go to the movies for this year. Not definitely, but I was, because I went to the movies very soon after this. But I wouldn't be watching a lot of things, except for Jaws. Jaws was like the thing that I got to see, because it was nobody knew right away how violent and devastating and horrifying it really was. It seemed more like an idea than a reality. And I just don't know. I don't know anybody in that year that saw Jaws and was not, even if you were landlocked in Nebraska, you were scared of
Even if you've never seen the
anybody
ocean.
of water. Yeah. So it was just one of those experiences that was indelible. Yeah, I couldn't go in my grandparents' swimming pool that summer for the rest of the summer. It was just it's a clear pool. You can see all the way through. I know nothing's there, but it didn't matter. It was
So
nuts.
it got you. Because
Yeah.
It
I
got
always-
everybody. Sharks
more than
still
anything.
have a stigma to this day.
Yes.
Yeah, they got NATOs and everything.
If anybody's going to, speak for the Sharks' behalf, I'm sure you will, Jay, at some point during.
Yeah, I'm pro
this
shark.
podcast.
Look,
Yeah.
these days
Yeah.
sharks get a whole week to themselves. They
They
make
get a
that
week.
one day for the locust look just
They
like
got the
idiots.
Meg.
That's true.
They've
Those
got-
locusts
Yeah,
got
no.
a day.
I know it was mentioned that you would wear a puka shell necklace, but I could also see you wearing a shark tooth.
Oh
100%.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely
Yeah.
collected shark teeth back
Mhm.
in the day. Yeah.
Not the
Wow,
puka
this-
shell
this-
necklace.
this
Wow.
tracks, this
Holy
tracks.
shit. All
Yeah.
right. So, Sophia, were you like Eric? Were you scared of the water after seeing Jaws the first time?
So I really loved Jaws when I first saw it and was scared. So I was, I'm from Ohio, so not a lot of water where I'm from in the middle of the state, but I was a big pool rat growing up. I went to the pool every day over the summer and I was scared. And I didn't learn my lesson because when I was a lifeguard later on in high school, I decided it would be fun to do a Jaws movie night at the pool, and kids ran away crying and screaming because they were so scared of watching that at the pool. So it went very well. But I love this year. I think that's probably where you're going next. I love this year. This is my favorite Best Picture lineup of all time. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Big Five winner. I think that's also a really interesting fact of this ceremony is that even with Barry Lyndon, Dog Day Afternoon, Jaws, and Nashville rounding out that Best Picture lineup, we had a Big Five winner. So I think that just shows the dominance of that film. We'll talk about that today of where we would keep those wins or maybe switch them up a little bit. But yeah, I love every movie in this lineup pretty deeply, and I like how different they really are and how they're also, I think, showcases of what, in many cases, I mean, these directors, they're masters of really what they can do, the actors they work with. And these are films, I mean, today that are still some of my favorites. So yeah, I'm excited to talk about them. I think some other nominees we'll get to in some of the other categories. I think, Eric, that speaks to what you were talking about with it not being a very deep bench this year, but those films that are in Best Picture are pretty incredible.
Is it an all-time lineup for you?
Absolutely, it is. I mean, the Best Picture lineup.
Yeah.
The other categories,
I was talking about screenplay.
and like I really do think that after like the Best Picture, Best Director, it kind of goes downhill.
Yeah.
And then once we get to below the line, it just kind of goes off a cliff.
Yeah.
I think that like to bring it back to what Eric said, like this is one of the years that I look at and I'm thankful that we did not have a 10 wide Best Picture field because these were maybe the only 5 that actually deserved a Best Picture nomination. Like maybe you could argue for 1 or 2 of the other ones and some of the foreign films, obviously, but would they have gotten Best Picture nominations? Probably not.
Yeah.
So
Imagine
it's
if the Hindenburg was here instead of like Barry Lyndon.
Oh my God. Imagine Best Picture nominee, give him Hell Harry. I mean, I know Jay has. He was just fantasizing about that last night, but
Oh, what a
for the rest
picture.
of us.
So cinematic.
Jay, you went, and speaking of which, you went down the rabbit hole. You watched a lot of these films for the first time.
Yeah.
Were there certain trends or things that you saw from these films that you either liked or didn't like about these exercises that you do, because you're a completist at heart, Jay.
I am.
I know you didn't get to everything you wanted to, but you got
No.
to a majority of the stuff that you wanted to.
Yeah,
So
I got to almost everything. This afternoon there was an option that I contemplated, which was I could watch the last two movies completing the actor actress lineup, or I could watch Nashville again. And I'll be honest, I just watched Nashville again.
it's a smart, probably move,
which was a
correct
good
choice.
which was a good time. But yeah, in general, it is a shallow pool. I think we are going to talk about a select number of movies over and over again as far as nominations. But I think as far as 1975 is concerned, we have to talk about this was the, first birthday of Andy Byron, former CEO of Astronomer, which I think is an important thing to talk about. But
what do you think he had at his birthday party, Jay? Like, what was the theme? Maybe Jaws? Do you think it was?
on his first birthday?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it was.
And they dressed him up as like the little mayor.
No, he had like a shampoo.
Oh, he had like a shampoo theme. Oh, okay.
Like a a triangle sort of.
All the ladies just giving
inspired.
him kisses. Yeah.
Yeah. It's sort of, who could be the best.
He was
sort of
hugging
the
everyone. Yeah.
The 1-year-old Warren Beatty. Many said.
Exactly.
Not me, but many said that. But it is an all-time Best Picture lineup. I'm very interested to see what direction the Best
group
Picture
takes.
lineup goes. Just sort of generally what direction. It's an all-time Best Picture lineup, and I think that's gonna make it fun because you can attach yourself to any one of these and really argue very hard for one or the other. I think there will be a lot of passion in this lineup for several categories. So I'm excited to dig into it.
Josh, the keeper of the rules for any Oscar retrospective here at Awards Watch. Are you okay with that title, by the way, Josh? Do you
I mean, I guess I have to be.
the keeper
you
of
say
the
it
rules?
every time. Yeah.
It's the truth. I mean, like anytime I ever have like a question about my own rules that I've created or any stuff that we've done here, Josh is the one to remind me of everything. So, and he's quick with the reminders as well too. So, it's I wear it as a badge of honor, right, Josh? Like that's a good thing to have, right? You're on all these with us.
Calling you out on your bullshit sometimes.
Yeah, that's fair.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I
It's a
need it.
full-time job, Josh.
I didn't
Yeah,
ask you,
I know.
Eric. Thank you.
It could be worse, Josh. You could be consistently referred to as like the basis of Sugar Ray, which I assume I think that's sort of what people think of me as. So
he just wants to fly. All right.
You did that to yourself. just
Yeah,
now.
you brought up Sugar Ray there, and it was more Smash Mouth than Sugar Ray, to be fair.
that
Jay.
seems to be the sentiment generally.
Josh,
Whatever.
Dan mentioned it, but below the line categories, obviously I want to hear your thoughts on the year, but below the line categories, there's a lot of interesting avenues that the Academy went with this year. Was there after your thoughts on the year, a category specifically that you wanted to highlight that either you loved, or if we had a choice to be able to cover it on the shoulda, coulda, woulda game, then we would have easily been able to go through that category and make some changes?
Well, on the year itself, I am very happy that everybody has said kind of how shallow it is, because it makes me feel a lot better as I was researching this year and coming up short in some places. So I feel very gratified about that, and I don't feel like I wasn't doing a good job in my research, because that seems to be the sentiment. But having said that, obviously most of what they picked is very good. I know that I'm not going to make friends with one of these movies, but it's fine. The other four are good. Which we'll get to that, which most people probably know what that is, but it's fine. I'm looking forward to that conversation. But yeah, overall, the movies that they did pick, I think they might not have had any other choice, but it still represents a pretty spectacular year in cinema. And yeah, for one of those below the line categories, I think the one I would actually want to shout out is film editing. Not just for the presentation and Ajani's wonderful pronunciation of Jaws, not only because of that, but I just think that these nominees are actually really good. Like, I do love Jaws as a winner. It's great. I think Dog Day Afternoon has some really fascinating moments in it too, where it represents this chaos very well, and I really do like that. We've got one of our 70s political thrillers, 3 Days of the Condor, obviously great. One with the Cuckoo's Nest is one of those more subtle showcases, but I think still really effective. And yeah, Man Who Would Be King, not my favorite. I think if you had replaced that with, for me, Barry Lyndon, it would be an awesome category because for a 3 hour movie, that thing moves. And, it's not always the flashiest of editing, but in terms of pacing, it's pretty spectacular. So overall, I think that is a very, very strong category.
I was going to highlight that as well, Josh, because, not only just everything you said there, but three female nominees in the category
Yeah.
in 1975, which is more than what we get in a fucking modern era. So that's when you see something like that, you want to highlight it. Female winner too in Jaws, which watching Jaws this week, again, 2 hour and 15-minute movie, you kind of forget about how quick and efficient from a 27-year-old director that movie moves based off of its editing.
You think Jaws is like kind of like a breezy, fun, efficient movie?
Yeah, I think so. But that
Okay.
guy,
All right.
that directed it, he never amounted to
All
anything
right, we'll
else
talk
after
about
it.
it.
You know
We'll
what I
see
mean?
if
So
it holds
we'll
in
talk
some
about it.
categories.
Yeah. Anybody else want to talk about another tech category, below the line category?
I
Anybody?
mean, there's so many good ones, but I'll say, I mean, costume design, I do want
Films.
to spotlight my queen,
Stems.
Milena
Hmm.
Canonero, because she was not even 30 years old when she worked on Barry Lyndon, which is just unbelievable when you look at these costumes and you see just everything. Like there are so many costumes, but they're also so like they're all painstakingly detailed and period correct. But really, like all my tech categories I want to talk about are just because Barry Lyndon was the winner. Really, like if I'm just being honest, Ken Adam doing the art direction
Oh,
for Barry Lyndon too. I've been rewatching so many old James Bond movies lately,
hmm.
so I always think of Ken Adam there. But then cinematography with John Alcott being the winner. So we can just obviously spend a lot of time talking about Barry Lyndon, but building an entirely new lens and type of camera to be able to document and shoot actual candlelight is just that's that Kubrick touch, but also John Alcott. And this is my favorite all-time cinematography winner.
Okay. Anybody else?
I'll call out Jaws score. I think it's pretty good.
You
I
think
think he
John
did a good
Williams did a
job.
pretty good job on that score?
But here's what I will say as a father of a toddler. I mean, you think about Baby Shark, obviously, like has permeated the culture in ways that are unimaginable. And that still has sort of the dana dana dana. It still is calling back to the Jaws score, even to this point. And you know what I do when I wake my son up very often? I will creak the door open
You
and
bite
I'll
his
go
leg?
dana
Oh,
dana dun dun and then what he likes to do is he goes dun and so we have that
and
thing
shoot
kind
you
of
with a
together, which is a
harpoon.
very it's a very it kind of it's like a fun thing that we have, and it comes from Jaws. He has not seen Jaws yet, but I have started to kind of Manchurian candidate him into liking Jaws. So when the time comes for him to watch Jaws, he will like it because I have conditioned him to do so.
Jay, if you did
It's
the to the wife, how would that turn out?
What tried to make her like Jaws?
No, if you like woke her up like that in the morning,
Oh, I mean,
she'd probably punch you in the
anytime.
face, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime I try to wake her up, it's an absolute disaster.
Yeah.
She becomes Bruce. It's
There you
really what
go.
happens.
That's what I wanted to
Uh,
hear. Eric, did you have a category you want to talk about?
No, I wanted to echo
Okay, never mind then.
Josh's
We'll move on.
comment about Isabella Johnny's pronunciation, Jows, which is
Jowls.
an absolute all-timer,
Yeah.
absolutely fucking incredible. And then also, joining Canonero in that costume design when Ulla Britt Soderlund coming out in sequin Barry Lyndon costume, iconic.
Dan, did you have a category?
I do have one that I'd like to highlight as a Shame on You Academy
Oh,
category,
I love
which
when we get
is
those here.
which is best sound because yes, Jaws deserved winner, but like to have Funny Lady in this category instead of Nashville, like one of the all-time great achievements in sound editing, like what are we doing here exactly? And like also no Barry Lyndon, but we got to make room for Bite the Bullet and The Wind and the Lion. I have so many questions for the Academy.
I was actually at a bar last night and we were talking about Bite the Bullet. Like everybody
As
was
you
just
do.
clamoring for. I was like, I'm actually doing an episode on the 1975 Oscars.
No
Oh
way!
my God, Bite the Bullet is like kind of an underrated gem.
Oh man, Nolan's remaking it after the Odyssey. It's crazy.
Yeah,
People are saying it.
People are saying it. Sophia, you were going to say something?
No, I was just gonna ask Jay if I thought that story was actually fake that he was saying about Jaws with Little Jet, but you were being sincere.
no, it's actually sincere. My default language is sarcasm, so I understand why you would maybe misinterpret.
She's
that,
done
but
enough shows with you
It
over the
actually
years.
it is like a fun thing that we do. He goes, da-na-na.
I love it.
Yeah,
That's
it's
really
very-
sweet.
It's very cute. He's a cool guy. I like him.
He's a very cool guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I was going to do one.
Here we go.
Song
Of
score
course.
and adaptation category. I missed that. It should be kind of always present. It's a great category.
What would have won?
Period.
Would have won like the last couple of years for that?
I mean, every Malick movie
obviously
would've won.
Wicked would have won that
Okay. Well, we don't need to bring it back then.
this season. But in general, I just love the idea of it.
Of like,
I
oh,
agree.
okay. Would that would be where they could just put John Williams for like all eternity, correct? For like the
You
Star
mean
Wars.
as opposed to like in stasis?
Well, I'm just saying like all those Star
As
Wars
opposed to what they do
scores.
now already.
No, I'm just saying like all those Star Wars scores are like essentially like repeating themselves in Indiana Jones scores, like
They
right?
still nominate him though.
I know, which is crazy.
Barry Lyndon is a perfect winner for that, though.
He has
I'm so
Yeah.
glad for this win there in that category. Love that.
John Williams won this. This was his second. He has 5 Oscars, correct? If I'm
Yep,
not mistaken.
5.
Yeah, this was only his second win, and he was the conductor and arranger of the Oscars that year.
Yeah.
And
So
what's
first
crazy
of
is
his
he should
original
probably
scores.
have like 12.
Yeah, the last Oscar he had was Schindler's List, and that's kind of
Yeah.
insane.
Good.
It's rude.
No, it's just kind of wild. Like,
Well,
I think
He
it's
won
kind
for
of
the wrong
appropriate,
thing that
actually.
year, so.
The man has had his day.
no.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you look at things like The Terminal. It's like obviously.
Well,
should
he
have
like
won.
literally created. I know that it's.
Amistad.
I know that nobody wants to talk about it because Warner Brothers is making the new television show that Jay's going to review on the website. But like, he created like the Harry Potter theme. He's done like
Yeah, I mean,
Pirates. He's done all this stuff,
undeniable.
or not Pirates. He's done yeah, all the Spielberg stuff. He's there's Superman. Yeah, like he's got
Home
an
Alone, one of
he's
my
got an
favorites.
iconic
Oh.
theme for every generation.
Home Alone
Which
is
is-
like
which is
that movie
incredible.
does not deserve that score.
It
No.
does not, but it's
No.
great.
it's a good score.
All right.
Incredible score.
Well, are you guys ready to play a game?
I guess.
ready
Oh,
to do
yeah.
Yeah.
Is
Right.
this Saw? What's going on?
I'm here to play a game for 1975.
Jeez.
If you guys have never heard out there before one of these retrospectives, what we do is we play the should, coulda, woulda game, which is essentially we talk about the top 8 categories at the Academy Awards. We can replace up to 2 of the nominees in each category, except Best Picture. We can replace up to 3. Once we have those replacements, we revote as a group and come up with a winner. We do not have to replace the winners. Sometimes we have, sometimes we haven't. This is where alliances are made, deals are brokered, and we have a lot of fun. We also still, as a group,
Don't forget
have
about the Oppenheimer.
I was just going to say it. So thank you, Jay, for once again talking over me, which is we still have,
It's one
as
of
a
my
group,
specialties.
I know you're still doing it right now. We have the Oppenheimer, which is if we wanted to get rid of an entire category and wipe it off of its existence from the Academy, and James Cameron would still not understand what any of that meant, then of course we can do that to one of the categories here. I don't know if we'll be doing that here today. But
Can I just say
no.
the framing of that is so problematic?
Well, Jay came up with
And
it,
not to
so
sound Gen
emails
Z
to
or
Jay.
anything, but
well,
oh
you
my
are,
God.
you are about to. It's been
Wiping a
approved.
category off the planet, and that is a turn of phrase.
Well, what's okay for this episode? We'll call it the Hindenburg. Okay, how about that?
No.
Okay.
Blow it up.
Yeah,
There we go. There we go.
there we go. All right, is that
like
better for
that.
you, Miss
Yep.
Delicate Nancy?
It's
All
a
right, there you
reference
go.
to Josh Parham. I like to think of it as the Joshua Oppenheimer, like that the director. That's sort of the direction that I like to take it.
All right. With that,
Because Josh is the keeper of the rules.
yes, yeah. So, and
Well,
Josh just,
we will not be using it today, though.
I do not believe so.
I don't think so. No.
Josh has said.
Yeah.
He has spoken.
Jay, after that joke, can you go ahead and read the nominees for Best Adapted Screenplay?
Absolutely. Best Adapted Screenplay. The first nominee and winner was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. The other nominees were Barry Lyndon, The Man Who Would Be King, Scent of a Woman, the original film,
Hooah!
and The Sunshine Boys. It is kind of crazy to look at how many movies were adaptations this year and just be like, everybody complains about everything being an adaptation. Although these weren't sort of popular adaptations, but there are plenty of alternative nominees, but those were the originals.
All right. Who would like to start? Throw out some names.
I would.
For elimination.
Because we need to get rid of Scent of a Woman.
Okay.
Absolutely awful movie, in which I feel like I need to give an apology to Martin Brest because I don't love the 92 version either, but at least it is somewhat watchable. This movie was a chore to get through, and it's even shorter, but it's 1970s Italian, so the misogyny is turned up way, way higher than it is in the new one, and I found it to be a horrible experience, so that's the first one that needs to go.
Sophia, as our Italian correspondent, could you talk about Scent of a Woman here?
Sure. Do you want me to pronounce the real title?
Please,
correctly?
because Jay was scared to do it.
I know he was.
definitely. No, hold on. Let me do it. No, let
There
me do
you
it
go.
before Sophia does it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Profumo di donna.
Great. No, I don't have to.
Thank you.
That was a trick. I just wanted to set you up for that. Josh is completely right. I think the Martin Brest movie, that version of this is, I mean, obviously regarded as one of the worst Best Actor winners.
Your
ever,
Letterboxd
really,
4,
with
though.
Pacino. My Letterboxd 4.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, I love everything about that movie, but this is worse. I agree completely. I haven't watched it in a while. I watched it when I was doing prep for an episode I did on Scent of a Woman, but yeah, we should absolutely kick it out. I would say my next one I would kick out would be The Sunshine Boys. If we want to pick out or
That movie
kick out a second.
stinks.
That movie is a stinker.
That movie
Yeah.
stinks. Neil Simon, get out of here. You need Nichols, man.
Yeah.
Neil
really-
Simon was
You
such
do.
a staple of the time, of course, but I would say I prefer The Man Who Would Be King to
Yeah.
The Sunshine Boys, and I like
Agreed.
some of the replacements. I mean, I think we have to throw Jaws out,
Oh my
Oh, yeah.
God.
The
The
conversation.
replacements are deep.
right?
Yeah.
So I think that's
So
the
I think
first one
we-
I would bring up.
I think we are all in agreement, though, on Scent of a Woman and the Sunshine Boys, right? Is there anybody else that would say anything else?
You'll
I
have
would
no
throw out The Man
disagreement
Who
from
Would Be
me.
King over the Sunshine Boys, but that's just me.
That's
Okay.
okay. So we got
I'll
one
just
vote
vote
for.
on it.
I
we
like
got-
The Man Who Would Be King. A good
Yeah.
I would also vote Sunshine out
Okay. So
and definitely Scent of a Woman out.
okay. So I think the vote. Sorry, Dan. Unfortunately, I think the vote will be.
It's splitting hairs. I'm just like,
Yeah, like I honestly don't have much enthusiasm for either. I think The Man Who Would Be King is a little bit more entertaining to me,
Yeah.
even though it's based off of a Rudyard Kipling, story. So it's got some problematic stuff in it. But I do think that one is just a little bit better, not by much, but I would prefer that one.
Kipling, not controversial.
Not only is it based on Kipling, it's sort of about Kipling being the voice of reason.
Yeah.
That's sort of the whole point of the movie.
Yeah. It's a bit
I
dangerous, isn't it?
I like that movie a lot, but
Did you-
yeah, it's
Well, for-
weird.
See,
the
do you see
leads.
yourself in it, Jay?
Yeah, it was really like looking at a mirror
Okay, there you
and
go.
being like, what a reasonable guy.
Out here every day talking about the white man's burden. Yeah.
Oh my God.
oh my
Oh my
god.
God. Josh was put up as a
Let's
replacement.
go.
Is other replacements for the group? Who wants to throw something out there?
Jaws,
one-
Dog
Wait,
Day,
additions.
Monty Python.
3 Days of the Condor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I feel like
Yeah, 3 days.
I
of
don't
Jaws
think
Jaws and
3
3
Days
Days of the Condor
is
are like the
close.
only realistic
Dog
top-
Day.
Dog Day
Series
Afternoon
one.
is an
Original.
original screenplay.
It's original.
Is it original?
literally won.
That was
was Jay.
based on it.
Jay, look
So-
what
Oh my
won
God,
original
I completely-
screenplay.
I completely whiffed on that.
Yeah.
That was
I
based
do
on
have
an
a
article.
question for the
That's
group,
interesting.
though.
Yes, Dan.
They let us on that
is
one.
I think this one falls into adapted, but if y'all want to deem it original,
Okay.
you're welcome to. But either way, I think Monty Python and the Holy Grail should be nominated in one of these categories because that's one of the most brilliant comedies of all time.
Yeah,
That's
I
definitely a
have
movie I was going to bring up in this, but
It's
I
adapted.
didn't know where exactly yet.
Also, Dog Day should be adapted.
From what?
The article that it was adapted from.
Like Top Gun?
Hold on. I'm going to look it up. Y'all keep
I mean,
talking.
in the credits for Dog Day, it does say it is like inspired by some article, but they nominated it in original and it won there. So
That's fine. I'm not gonna keep it from a nomination. But I
but taking a real life event and using an article or a newspaper piece is different than I don't know, something else.
Based on the Life magazine article, The Boys in the Bank. That sounds pretty adapted to me.
It's a good title for an article.
And yet the Academy deemed it original.
Yes, so we will. I legitimately, like, all I was doing was searching about them, going through each movie and being like, that's really weird that Dog Day wasn't nominated for adapted. And
although
sure
it's
enough,
weird,
it was...
Jay, like you could have then just read a little bit further down to see the nomination.
Yeah. That would have been good of me. But again, that really speaks to my idiocy of Oscar knowledge.
That's
so
fair.
at least I'm consistent.
Okay, 3 Days in the Condor, My Python, the Holy Grail.
Yeah, what are we gonna do? What do we want to do with that?
I don't believe that they had
I would not call it adapted.
I would call it original. No. They don't have any source material.
What, Monty Python?
Yeah.
No, that's adapted.
Arthurian legend.
No,
that's adapted.
I disagree.
No. Like they didn't. There's no. Unlike even like Dog Day Afternoon, there's nothing listed within their screenplay credits here of based off of anything. So
because
what I'm saying,
it's a series of vignettes. What's it adapted from? The Bible?
Arthurian legend.
Arthurian legend, which is both an oral and written tradition in English. Yeah. So like,
if you're parodying something, that means you're parodying something that is pre-existing.
But it's parodying several things. It's not a singular.
Okay, so it's adapting
of
several
something.
Things.
Yeah, so it falls into that slightly gray area, but not that gray. This
is the Barbie argument, honestly.
You're right about that.
I think a little
slightly
different, but
close.
Barbie's an original screenplay to me. So
I would like to throw in another option. Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Okay. Yeah,
I do
again
that.
One of the few.
Okay,
one of the few titles.
I would vote for Rocky Horror over 3 Days of the Condor.
Oh, interesting.
Fascinating.
Okay.
Okay, now we've got. That's interesting.
I have some Rocky Horror mentions coming up later, but I think I would still stick with Jaws and 3 Days of the Condor as the top two replacements.
Okay.
I'll echo that.
I think that's the group consensus.
I can sleep easy with
I think we're all good with 3 Days of the Condor.
No one wants to throw out Sallow.
No, we can't because it didn't come out in the US until like 79.
It was like years later.
Yeah. There's a lot of that. We talked a little bit.
We talked off mic a little bit. Yeah, there's
Picnic at Hanging Rock, and there's a handful of things that would be wonderful to be here, but US release would not account for that. That's like the whole Ummercord thing. This and the year prior.
Ummercord, crazy.
Which I love, because that still happens. We had City of God do that.
Exactly. So
this is very, very rare.
All right, 3 Days of the Condor and Jaws, along with Barry Lyndon, The Man Who Would Be King, and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Jay, I'll start back with you. You give the Oscar to.
Yeah, Redmond Barry, I think, really wrote a great sort of diary with Barry Lyndon. I think one of the most rich texts of all time, to be honest. So I will go with Barry Lyndon.
Okay. Dan? Oh, okay. I was just making sure you heard me. That was all.
Yeah.
He's. Do you want me to come back to you, Dan?
No,
Okay.
I'm gonna stick with the Oscar winner, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, for this.
All right. Okay. Josh.
I think I am also going to vote for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Okay. Sophia.
I am also going with Barry Lyndon here. I think that as an adaptation, it's very interesting how Kubrick found the material and was originally thinking of making Vanity Fair, but it was too daunting to him as one movie. So then he pivoted, switched it completely, changed the perspective, and I think created something that, yes, is an adaptation, but is also wholly Kubrick. So I'm going to go Barry Lyndon.
Erik.
This is our first, and it's already so difficult.
Yes.
Actually, this is really, really,
Haven't
really
been on in a
difficult.
while, right?
Yeah,
Been on
no,
one of
there's
these
also
so
that.
long.
I'm like, I forgot. I completely wasn't really thinking about the whole like
Having to
game
choose
of it all.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
such a top heavy year though. It's crazy.
It
There's
is
like
because it's
five
it's really
movies where you
only
could just go back and forth.
only
Yeah.
one of those two. Because I love Sophia's reasoning for picking Barry Lyndon. Oh God, I think I might actually have to go with Cuckoo's Nest though, which is not what I expected in
Yeah?
my own head.
Why is that?
Because I think Barry Lyndon's a better film.
Okay.
Mm.
You think it's a
But
better
that
film?
doesn't
But
mean the screenplay is better.
yeah.
I definitely would pick Barry Lyndon in multiple other categories and will later.
Okay. But you think the screenplay is just a smidge stronger with the Oscar?
I think so. I think it yeah, it just sort of it hits the period really, really well. I think it's a great adaptation of Ken Casey's book.
I agree. Yeah.
It's I don't know. It just yeah.
I agree. I think we should keep it with the Oscar winner. I would give it to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I hadn't seen it in such a long time, and I watched it this past week, and I just thought, I remember reading that book, middle school, high school, and it's just, I thought a really beautiful adaptation of that. Heartbreaking. Obviously, some form of improv probably in there as well with it, like a lot of films from this year. But the core story of it is just fantastic. And I mean, Barry Lyndon, Jaws.
Yeah, you know what else is a great
They're all
screenplay?
good.
The film Jaws.
Jaws.
Also
that
a
was
very creative adaptation of a
Yes.
bestseller. Yeah.
very,
Yeah.
very, very creative. So I'm happy that they got in. Should have got in. It's ridiculous. But I would keep it with Cuckoo's Nest here. One of the few places that I would keep it with Cuckoo's Nest, and a movie that I love and think is great. So Cuckoo's Nest keeps its Oscar. Dan Bayer, Best Original Screenplay, please.
The nominees for Best Original Screenplay were Amarcord, And Now My Love, Lies My Father Told Me, Shampoo, and the winner, Dog Day Afternoon.
Which
Thoughts
should
on-
have been adapted, as we've clearly laid out.
Okay.
Sure.
Do you want to kick it out, Jay?
No, I'm going to keep it now.
Okay.
Now that the frauds have declared themselves as
Oh my
You know.
God.
Here we go. Here we go.
Lord.
All right. What will we kick out, guys?
And Now My Love.
I mean, it's
Okay.
And Now My Love and it's Lies My Father Told Me, as long as we can find two others, which I think is tough, actually.
I have two.
If we
here.
have
if we
Monty
have
Python, that's one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
very
if we
easy
keep Monty
one.
Python, I will go against my instincts and put it in there just as a way to kick those two out.
Okay. And your instinct is you don't think that that's an actual screenplay there, Jay? You think it's a lot of improv?
No, Nashville, I'm fine. Obviously, the Robert Altman thing is how much of it is screenplay and how much of it is letting people sing.
Yeah.
But my real hesitation is Monty Python is an adaptation, in my opinion.
Oh, okay.
But who
Okay.
cares?
Well, I mean, because Jay has positioned himself as such a champion, a vigilante, even really for adaptation versus original.
Yeah.
I definitely am going to. I'm definitely going to choose and side Monty Python here in original screenplay, and I hope that there is some support in that.
I thought it was just in. I don't know why you had to do all
Yeah.
that preamble. That
Yeah,
was
I
pretty
mean,
much
just
in.
'cause
Is
I'm-
it?
I am
by not putting
Just
it
because
in
I'm
the top
just because
yeah.
I'm an idiot.
absolutely voting for that.
Yeah.
And may I
Okay,
throw
good.
it? May I suggest as our second replacement, Nashville?
Oh, the film Nashville. Oh, that did come out this year, didn't it?
Yes, and they were very rude to it below the line.
They
the
really,
Academy.
yeah, they really were.
I have one that
Josh
wasn't
loves Nashville.
yeah.
Yeah.
We should reveal this early. Josh is not a huge fan of Nashville.
Or the films of Mr. Robert Altman.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm not a Robert Altman person. I think Nashville is fine. I don't love it. It has some moments in it that I think are very good. I hate most of the songs in that movie. I'm just gonna also say that. Not a fan of the film overall, but I know that that is a severe minority opinion that I'm not going to fight terribly, especially in original screenplay where I didn't really find too many things that I really loved as replacements. So I'm not going to rock the boat on this one that much.
I do have another one I'd like to throw out, but I don't think I'll get any votes on this one. Love and Death, the Woody Allen movie from 75. I love this comedy, and I feel like it's just worth mentioning at least. Kind of his play on Russian literature. Love Diane Keaton here, of course. But yeah, Nashville, I feel like is probably the more popular choice.
Yeah, I think we're going with Nashville and Monty Python, the Holy Grail, along with Dog Day Afternoon.
Fine with that.
Yeah, I feel like everything that Nashville didn't get, we're going
Shampoo
to be getting
Encore.
in here.
Yeah,
Kind of.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because it's such a low nomination total year. Nothing
It
was
is.
even double digit.
No,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
a
wild.
low year, which
It
is
really is.
again strange because it feels like a year where they realized that it was kind of weak and threw everything at a handful of movies, but
Yeah.
there's nothing double digit.
Amakor Shampoo, Dog Day Afternoon, Monty Python, the Holy Grail, and oh god, what was the other one? Sorry,
Amarcord?
no, the
Nashville.
one in Nashville.
Nashville.
Sorry, Jesus
Nashville.
Christ, had a
Forgot
lost my brain there for a second.
Nashville.
No,
Okay.
I lost my brain for a second.
Mhm.
That's how
Dan.
Josh feels as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're winner of this category, please.
My winner would genuinely be Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Those gags are classic, and they have rarely been topped in the 30 some odd years since. So I gotta give it to the piece of genius.
Yeah, Sophia.
I'm going with Shampoo. Robert Towne, Warren
What
Beatty.
if a man cut hair?
What if a man was Warren Beatty? I would love him, of course, and I do in Shampoo. I think this is a really smart political satire, and it gets me every time. And Robert Towne, one of our great Hollywood screenwriters, and I love what Warren Beatty brings to this too. So I'm gonna go Shampoo.
Jay.
Rough. I'm going Dog Day.
Okay.
I think such a taut thriller,
Damn it.
so layered,
After all of that,
so ahead of its time. I love Dog Day to death.
He's just being an
I'll keep the
Academy
winner.
voter, Sophia, just being a hypocrite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll go Monty Python, the Holy Grail. It's one of the greatest comedies ever made.
Hell yeah.
There are gags in it that I truly just love bit by bit. I've seen it in theaters multiple times, absolutely still plays. And if I didn't vote for it, I'd probably get kicked out of the house because it's a favorite of the wives. So this is easily one of the films that we watch a lot. This is like when we talked about, Blazing Saddles, just one of those comedies that I think is like, it's undeniable. Erik.
maybe a little harder than I would have thought because I do love Monty Python so much, but I'm going with Dog Day Afternoon.
Ooh.
The concept of a very sympathetic portrayal of a trans person in 1975 is, I don't know, it's almost unmatched, really, and it is a great drama. It's a great romance. Yeah, I think it's an incredible screenplay.
Josh.
Ryan,
Nashville.
I'm so sorry to actually do this to you, Ryan, because my vote was going to be for Shampoo.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
Josh.
Yeah.
Why are you mad at me? Why are you mad at me?
Split 2-2-2.
Because that is a three-way tie.
Oh, okay.
Do it.
All right.
Before we started, I actually was very much on the Dog Day Afternoon train, but rewatching Shampoo, God, I love that movie so much. Like, some days it's my favorite Hal Ashby movie, to be honest with you. Like, I just think the characters are so great. I love that world that they're just diving into. It's so fun. I really do love that movie, and that is the one that I would have voted for.
Wow. Okay. A three-way tie. All right. I think we're gonna have to do this
See?
like runner-ups, right?
Wow.
So this might not help, but sure. We'll start back to Dan with runner-up.
My runner-up is Dog Day Afternoon, a perfect movie.
Okay. Sophia.
Dog Day Afternoon. I love it as a winner. It'd be my number 2.
Jay, your runner-up.
My runner-up is Nashville.
It's Nashville. Okay. That's Nashville.
You're a psychopath.
Josh, your runner-up.
My runner-up is Dog Day Afternoon.
Okay. Eric, your runner-up would be.
Monty Python.
Okay. And my runner-up would be Dog Day Afternoon. I think Dog Day Afternoon
Dog
keeps
Day.
it based off
I
of
think that gives it
Sounds
Dog
like
Day.
it.
Keep it
Yes.
with the winner. That makes
Yep.
sense. Yeah.
Which
So
is a
Dog-
good winner, too.
Yeah.
2 for 2 on incumbent winners.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're staying.
All right.
Good year for them. I
That's
think,
going to
some
change.
places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh, best supporting actor, please.
Speaking of about to change. Yeah, best supporting actor. We have George Burns for The Sunshine Boys, who
The
won,
Sunshine Boys.
of course. Brad Dourif for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Burgess Meredith for The Day of the Locust, Chris Sarandon for Dog Day Afternoon, and Jack Warden for Shampoo.
I gotta say, we're verging on an Oppenheimer here.
No, it's a Hindenburg on this episode, Jay.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You could blow this up easily,
Yeah.
in my
I
opinion.
mean, you could, but I feel like I don't know that I could find 5 people to replace.
Oh, I could find it easy.
Yeah, I think
Would you say it's because I'm easy, Jay?
Because I'm easy.
Christopherson
that
should have
movie.
gotten nominated here.
There you go. Who?
Christopherson.
Keith Carradine?
You mean David Carradine?
Keith Carradine.
Or Keith Carradine?
Keith
Sorry.
Carradine.
Jesus
Good
Christ.
Lord.
We got it wrong twice in a
Twice in a
row.
row. God damn it.
It's not so easy.
The one that did not
Josh.
die
Answer
of
and, like,
autoerotic asphyxiation.
Yeah.
The
You want to talk about it, Eric?
My God.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would dump this entire
Carradine,
category
yeah.
except for Chris Sarandon. And add John Cazale.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what, that's what I
John
was gonna
Cazale,
say. I'm kind of
Top
like
of my list.
swap
It's-
Cazale out. I mean, Sarandon is great, but I'm kind of like
They
could
should
swap him.
both be in here.
I'm good with that. But who are the obvious 2 to get rid of?
I have a
Burns.
proposition.
Oh.
What if, you know how we do the replace 2 nominees in all categories except for picture, where we can do 3?
Oh, 3 in picture. Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to need to do that today in picture.
We are
No,
definitely
we're not
not
gonna.
going to
So
have to do
maybe
that
we
in
can
picture.
do it here. I don't know.
I second that.
I'm fine with that.
Josh
So-
is like,
Now we're just
I
bending
like
rules.
I like
Josh
consistency.
over here, the
That's
traditionalist.
fair.
just
It's
me.
fair.
I
I know.
prefer that. You know,
I agree with
If we were
Josh.
going to do that, I would have preferred us to say it at the beginning, but
Yeah,
it
that's true.
just came to me. Oh,
Yeah.
No,
All right,
I actually agree
Burns
with Josh.
is the-
Like,
Burns
Josh
is
being
the
the
most
nurse
obvious.
ratchet on this episode. My God. You don't have the vote, Sophia. Sit down.
I would want to watch the World Series if I was in that place. So yeah.
Have all of y'all seen the Sunshine Boys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Movie
Yeah.
stinks.
That movie
Yeah,
is not
it
good.
sucks.
It is. That
I
movie is
hate
a
this
very
win so much. It's one of the all-time worst in this category, which has
That is a
been
very specific movie
pretty bad.
for a very specific
Yeah.
time and a very specific audience.
What if a
And
man
if I'm
was
able to
annoying?
get my head into that headspace, like I can enjoy it, but it has not aged well.
I would take Burns out.
Burns is out,
Yeah, we don't have the same loyalty to his long
and
career.
I
that
will be
Academy
honest.
did
I
at
did
that
not
point.
watch the day. I did not get to the Day of the Locust. I chose to rewatch Nashville instead.
I think we could take out Meredith and Burns
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's the right
so,
move.
too.
and
Actually.
then play in that space.
Yeah.
God, there are
Gosh.
so many
Yeah.
other options, though. Good
Josh?
grief.
Yeah, I did not watch all of Day of the Locust. I pretty much watched it up until some scenes with Burgess Meredith, and I kind of felt like, all right, well,
I get
I
it.
think I got what I needed out of this situation. I think I'm good.
And you would be
yeah.
correct.
Yeah, and I love Burgess Meredith in general. Like, I will always be kind of a fan because he was the Penguin on the Adam West Batman. So I have affection for him because of that, but not for this movie. No.
Yeah. All right, they're gone. So we have 2 spots.
Those are the two. I do not care about Jack Warden and Shampoo, but maybe others do.
Well,
I think he should stay because we can only get rid of 2.
No, I know we can
Yeah,
only
we
get
get
rid of two. So
so-
those are the obvious two. Okay.
All right, let's start. I mean,
So many other options.
Well, Robert
So
Shaw.
many.
Cazal.
Robert
Cazal,
Shaw.
Robert
Dreyfus,
Shaw.
Cazal, Shaw,
Robert Shaw.
Tim. Does Tim Curry qualify as supporting?
Tim
or
Curry is
he
lead.
I would
He's
say
lead.
lead. Yeah.
I would category fraud him and put him in supporting. But
Jesus,
I
what are you
would-
doing today?
Max
No.
von Sydow for 3 Days of the Condor.
Oh,
Keith
that's a good
Carradine, Nashville.
Yes, Keith Carradine. I already said
Sidney
John
Lassick for
Cazale.
Cuckoo's Nest.
Yep.
one. Who for Cuckoo's Nest, Josh?
Sidney Lassick.
Yeah.
Mm.
I
John
didn't-
Cleese for Holy Grail.
Yeah.
I think
Why did Brad Dorff get in for Cuckoo's Nest? I'm not mad about it, but like, I don't. When I rewatched that film, I was like, that was the supporting
that's
performance.
think
why
the
we should blow.
ending-
That's why we should blow it all up.
The
I
end.
think it's the ending. Yeah.
Is it the ending? Okay. All right.
I would guess
like
so.
the emotional just hit
Mhm.
of that. Okay.
Mhm.
Because there's just, I mean, but it's like
Gosh, I
5
did
other
agree
performances in
with-
it.
I
I
agreed
think we
with your
should blow it
tweet
all up.
about Brad Dourif today. If that movie came, or if Twitter
Oh,
was around back then.
Yeah. Twink Brad
Yeah.
Dourif would have
Oh,
had
God.
film Twitter gaze in a chokehold. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's with that hair, with that Mark
Oh, yeah.
Edelstein hair. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
That's literally who I was thinking of when I was watching the film.
It's wild.
My God. Yeah.
I think the easy answer and the obvious answer is Cazal and Robert Shaw.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would not be mad at that at
Yeah.
all.
Probably. Yeah.
It's better than everybody in the category.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Not to tip my hand.
Those two are better than everyone else nominated.
It's
Yes.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still may be better than most of the acting nominees, period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but are we good with that? Is that
I
think
think
it's an easy
consensus
answer.
wise, yeah,
Yeah.
we're only going for 2
Okay.
spots. I think
Didn't
those
know.
are the obvious ones.
Okay.
Although I have to say, Richard Dreyfuss was a lot better on my rewatch of Jaws than I
He's
remembered.
amazing in Jaws.
Yeah.
They're all
Yeah.
good.
Jay, what do
He
you-
was
They are.
in
Jay, what do you
lead
think
at
of his-
BAFTA.
was he?
Yeah, Dreyfus was lead.
Jay,
He's
how do you feel
interesting.
about his politics?
Oh God, him on the Bill Maher, him on what's Bill Maher's podcast called?
Eric, you know.
I don't know what you're
oh,
talking
God.
about. I will
Richard
not be
Dreyfuss-
aligning myself.
Richard
with
Dreyfuss
Jay
on
in this
Bill Maher's
matter.
podcast. I've seen clips of it. He's sitting like this is great for an audio medium, but he's sitting like this.
It's like low in this chair. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, he's like
Yeah. All the way back.
7 feet away from the microphone. He's
It's
sitting
like he's
so low.
like about to fall into the bathtub like
It's great.
Leo in
What's the Bill
Inception.
Maher podcast
You know what I
called?
mean? Yeah. I don't know. You can look it up though and ruin your search engine.
It's just a pod club random.
Okay.
Great name for a podcast. It's just a podcast where Bill Maher gets hammered and then talks to famous or semi-famous people.
Okay.
He talked to Haktua Girl. That was an epic pod.
Okay. All right.
This
I
is
believe
not
you.
Director Watch.
Yeah.
We are
Josh,
moving.
Who's your winner
on.
in supporting actor?
To me, it's very clearly Robert Shaw. And not just for the James Bond connection that I have to shout out. But he's just amazing in that movie. Like the minute he enters, you are completely glued to the screen, and he gives that character such presence, and it's kind of undeniable how iconic it is. So yeah, that's who I'm going to vote for.
Eric?
Yeah, I think I would probably pick Shaw too. He's such a fucking Hemingway in this. He's like the perfect Hemingway dupe.
Yeah.
I love it. Like the most ridiculously imagined bravado and machismo, but like in a super entertaining way. And he still dies because he's stupid. So
It's great. Like the most highly entertaining, probably well-known blockbuster of all time, and the best scene of the movie is him sitting at a table talking about his battle scars and those eyes.
It's a pretty good sketch of a shark too.
Yeah, I would go Robert Shaw. I rewatched this literally today, and I was texting Sophia. I was like, "This is like an undeniable performance. Maybe one of the best performances ever in a Steven Spielberg movie." It's an incredible work by Shaw.
it's so wild that he was a co-host of the show too, of the Oscars.
Yeah, Sophia.
Shaw for me. He has so many good little quips and jokes too. I love the solitaire one when he says, "Stop playing with yourself, Hooper." Great.
Those nails on the
Gazelle would be my
chalkboard.
runner-up. It's but this is just one of those performances. I think when I'm watching Jaws, as much as I love, my love Roy Scheider, I can't wait until Shaw shows up.
Dan.
As much as I do love Robert Shaw's performance in Jaws, I gotta go with Cazale for Dog Day Afternoon because he's so good. Just the sweat. I know it's not necessarily just them, but like the way both he and Pacino sweat in that movie is just like a whole other level of sweating on screen. I don't know how they did it.
Jay.
1,100 men went into the water. Vessel went down in 12 minutes. Didn't see the first shark for about a half an hour. Tiger, 13-footer. Robert Shaw, easy. Slam dunk.
I kind of want you to do the whole thing.
Incredible stuff. I would do the whole thing if you let me.
I don't.
It is the perfect combination of writing and performance. It's amazing. Also love his chalk drawing of the shark.
Yes. So
very
good.
Very cute.
Robert Shaw.
Congratulations.
Jaws.
Also the writer of another Oscar nominated film this year.
Do you guys know what the film is? Anyone?
Of course, the great film, The Man in the Glass Booth. One that we all love.
Yeah.
Just crickets.
Another
on
one
that.
that I kind of gave up watching about halfway through.
Sophia.
What if there was a man in a glass booth?
Damn it. It was right there. It was right there. It was right
In
there.
a world where a man is in a glass booth.
Sophia.
Did y'all watch that movie? Is actually bananas. We'll get there. We'll
get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
It's something.
We're not there now.
It's
Supporting
insane.
actress.
Yes, please, Sophia.
Okay, we'll move
The
there.
national
Get us
category.
past this point. Get us past him.
Our winner was Lee Grant for Shampoo. Our nominees, we have Ronnie Blakely for Nashville, Sylvia Miles for Farewell, My Lovely, Lily Tomlin for Nashville, and Brenda Vaccaro for Once Is Not Enough.
Jacqueline Suzanne's Once Is Not
yes,
Enough, Sophia.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
so sorry. Lee
sort
Daniels,
of
the
the
butler.
Lee Daniels of
Yes.
his time. Yeah.
Luca
Based on the
Guadagnino's
novel
After the
Touched by
Hunt.
Sapphire.
You know,
I did not get to Once Is Not Enough. I must admit.
You are missing out.
You are missing out. Oh God.
Josh, that's like a
Somehow I
prime.
knew this is the one that you didn't get to, Jay.
Josh, this is a prime Bond title.
I watched,
that
like,
they used in another film, by the way.
Really?
Once
20
it's not
minutes
out.
of
Bond
it.
title.
Yeah.
Kirk Douglas
Close,
is like,
yeah.
"Hey, maid, jump in the shower with me." That's the
That
only
was-
part
it
that
is
I saw.
So that is such a crazy opening when she's just standing there while he's showering. He's like, "Come in a little closer." You're like, what is going on?
Wild
And then
art.
everything with the daughter. But I have to say,
The
Brenda
70s were a
Vaccaro,
wild
all of
time.
her lines are
She's great.
incredible.
She's great.
Are we
great.
gonna keep her though?
Who are we kicking out?
No.
No.
All right.
I think the easiest thing to do here is to kick out Sylvia Miles and Brenda
Yes.
Vaccaro.
Yes.
Like, frankly, I would kick out anyone who is not in the cast of Nashville, but
Yes.
like I can't do that to Lee
Josh would be
Grant,
kicking out the
so-
cast of Nashville.
Nah, the performances in Nashville are fine. I don't have a problem.
Farewell, My Lovely is a totally decent movie, but that is not a memorable performance. That's not the part of the movie that really stands out to me.
What stands out to you?
No.
I mean, I don't know. Not
Okay,
much.
yeah,
It's
right.
sort of
Thank you
like
very
The Long
much.
Goodbye came out 2 years before, and it's way better. That's sort of what stands out to me.
There you go. All right. So Miles and Vaccaro are out. Yes. It's very simple. Very
Golden Globe winner, Brenda Vaccaro.
well. There you go.
I
Well, she's
do
got
love
something.
her
Like
very much,
deserved,
though.
honestly.
We'll just pretend that this was for Supergirl instead.
Yeah.
There you
Mhm.
go.
Mm. Also, what really stands out is that Robert Mitchum sounds exactly like Rodney Dangerfield in Farewell, My Lovely. That was what stood
Oh,
out
he
to me.
does.
Yeah.
Wow.
He
Who are we
does.
replacing?
He gets no respect in that movie. I'll
God
tell you
damn
that
it.
much.
Damn it. All right. Who are we replacing them with?
So my favorite other Nashville person is Geraldine Chaplin.
That-
I think
she's
Opal
on my
from
list.
the BBC
That would be
is
my
iconic.
That would be my pick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we going 3 Nashvilles and supporting actress? I'm down.
I mean,
At
we could do
least.
Please.
I'm down.
At least.
Marissa
because Barbara
Berenson.
Harris is there
Barry
too.
Lyndon.
Marissa Berenson. Yeah.
Can I bring something up?
I think, yeah.
Oh,
I
God.
think
Ryan,
They-
I'll allow it.
okay, thank you, buddy. Do we have a category fraud situation in lead actress with the winner?
I knew someone was going to bring that up.
Because I rewatched it last night and I kind of get it now. And I kind of think she is supporting.
It's a Silence of the Lambs situation.
Yeah.
Think so? Okay.
Well,
I think so.
Okay.
I would not want to drop her down. Mostly,
I just don't feel like
just
that
because
character
I
gets an
don't-
end arc at all.
I have
honestly.
more options here for supporting actress than I do
Yeah.
for lead
Yeah.
actress.
Agreed.
That's
Agreed.
also the other
Agreed.
thing.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I also just think that like she may not be a lead character, but she is the lead actress. So on that level, I can.
Well, it's her and the
accept
other nurse that doesn't talk. So like it's
Yeah,
the
that's-
real
that's-
tough.
That's
it's,
by
it's
default.
default,
you know?
but like
Yeah.
back in the 70s, that was enough for the
I
Academy.
mean, that's fair.
Like,
And
Surprised she
also,
didn't
I
get
don't have
in.
an issue with her being in lead,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
even apart from everything
Especially
else,
given
so.
the nominees.
I know,
Sort
it's
of
just-
keep
I just
her
feel like
for
the-
practical purposes.
I just feel like Nicholson and the group dominate so much of that, and then they go on that field trip, and there's the the party sequence, and there's a lot of that film she's not in, but when she's there, she's dominating because of her presence as
She's
a character.
so memorable
Yes.
that it sort of turns itself into a lead.
I was just throwing it out there. I was just saying that I we don't have to do it. I was just throwing it out there as a conversation.
I'd throw in Susan Sarandon as a possibility.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
for Rocky Horror,
Yeah,
Yes.
Rocky Horror.
ooh,
Absolutely.
I think she's a lead.
No, no, I don't think so. But
At any rate,
I
I'd still
don't
go
think
for
she's
Nell
gonna make
Campbell.
it anyway. I think
If
we
I'm
kinda
going
have
for
our
anyone in
two.
Rocky Horror, I'm voting for Nell Campbell, but that's just me.
All right, we have one.
Is Faye Dunaway supporting in 3 Days
This
of the
is
Condor?
something I was debating. Yes.
I was also
I
gonna
think
ask
she
about-
I
is
was thinking about-
underserved in 3 Days of the Condor, but that's just my opinion.
I mean, I was also going to ask about the other shampoo ladies, like
Mhm.
um,
Julie Christie.
Julie Christie.
Yeah.
Julie
Yeah.
Christie is on my list, and Goldie Hawn as well.
Yeah.
Goldie
Yeah.
Hawn,
Goldie
absolutely.
Hawn for me.
Yeah.
I would love Goldie Hawn in here.
Yeah.
Goldie Hawn is kind of my cilantro. So
Oh,
my
wow.
Mm.
yeah.
Wow. Just
Jay, do you like cilantro? Like just in general?
I'm saying like the
Like, yeah, I get like,
proverbial cilantro.
Yeah.
In general, yeah, I like cilantro
Okay.
literally.
All right.
But
no, because some people think, they get taste
so
like
let me change. Goldie Hawn is my
Kryptonite.
person that I don't like very much compared to other people.
not a very important person.
No.
Did we say Marissa Berenson for Barry Lyndon?
We
The
did,
name was thrown
which I
out.
think for me
Yeah.
is an absolute layup.
Mhm.
I think she's a gimme, but I'm not sure if others feel that
This
way.
is
I don't know if I
fun.
feel like that strong about it, but I do really like her. She's somebody I would
think
advocate
she's-
for.
Yeah, and she's really well served by Ryan O'Neal in that movie. I think I could do a whole thesis on the women opposite Ryan O'Neal in his movies and how his performance always makes theirs look better. Hers included.
I mean, comparatively, yeah.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
got
well, yeah, there's
incredible-
that, yeah.
I've got incredible O'Neill takes, but we'll get
I'm
there.
ready to, Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the performances in Barry Lyndon at all, but I like the movie a lot. Otherwise, so.
Did we say Barbara Harris for Nashville too? Should be on
Oh
my
yeah,
list.
Yeah,
she's the other
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
One other one I would throw out is Penelope Allen for Dog Day Afternoon.
Oh, I like that too.
It's a good performance.
Ooh.
Good stuff.
An
Very fun in that movie.
undersung
She's
performance
very good.
for sure. So is Geraldine Chaplin one that I feel like was
I think she's kind of in. I think
universal
from basic.
or not, if not universally consensus.
Well,
Well,
could
it's
be
not
wrong.
universal, but it is.
Well,
I
I
didn't
feel
say-
like
I said
no, I
not
do feel like all
universal.
the
I
Nashville
said-
people kind of were like, yes, that one.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I know that I am in the
Here he goes.
minority when it comes to Nashville.
I'm ready for
but I would like to not have this category be all Nashville people. I would like some variety just for the sake of it. So
It's not going to be like the Globes. I think
no,
we're looking at like
I
Three,
it sounded to
right?
me like we were going with Geraldine Chaplin and Goldie Hawn.
Mm.
well, I don't know.
I'm
if
fighting
pro-
for Marissa
I mean,
Berenson.
I am pro
Yeah.
Goldie also.
All right, put Goldie in.
Oh.
Gee,
I'm-
you
I'm-
surrendered
I am-
so easily.
pro
Yeah,
pro
I was like,
cilantro.
we can-
I don't
People
care.
can vote.
She's not going to win. I mean,
Over here, so.
that's fine.
You don't know that.
I'm gonna start texting on the side right now, Jay.
Okay. Yeah, because now I'm confused. Okay, so where are we going with this? What do you guys think?
It sounds like Goldie is in, and the other one I am no longer
And-
sure of.
I wasn't even sure.
It
on
sounded to me like
Well,
her and Geraldine Chaplin.
I thought
but-
Yeah,
Geraldine
yeah,
was
Chaplin-
in.
Okay,
Yeah.
Chaplin's
Chaplin and
Goldie
Hawn
is-
are the
is-
replacements
that's
for
fine.
Vaccaro
Is
and
that
Miles.
what we're doing?
Berenson
I'm fine with
Rob,
that.
but that's fine.
Okay. Geraldine Chaplin,
Should have
Goldie
fought
Hawn.
harder, Jay.
Don't care. I'm sort of a Barry Lyndon in that regard.
Ronnie Blakely, Lily Tomlin, and Lee Grant.
Choose your battles.
Sophia.
Come back to me, please.
Okay. Eric.
Yeah, come back to me as well.
Josh.
All right, yeah, I'll
I'm going around the
vote for
horn.
somebody. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll vote for somebody now. I'm gonna stick with the winner. I'm gonna stick with Lee Grant. I love Shampoo just in general, and watching the movie again, that was another element that was like she is so magnetic every time she's on screen, and that was always going to be like the parts of the movie that I was the most invested in. So yeah, I'm still gonna vote for Lee Grant.
Jay.
I'm going Lily Tomlin. I think the most empathetic character in Nashville. I think that performance is unbelievable. I think she's one of the all-time greats. All the scenes with her children in that like make me just give me goosebumps. So I'll go with her.
Dan.
It pains me to take away Lee Grant's Oscar, but this had Lily Tomlin's name all over it. She should have won this so easily. The fact that prior to this, she was only known for comedy and specifically for like her sketch comedy characters, and for her to so fully give herself over to this performance and the sign language and just her face during I'm Easy. It's a miracle performance, and she should have won the Oscar.
Sophia.
Okay, now it is back to me. This is hard because I also really like Ronnie Blakely, but I don't know if it's also just because I want my hair to look like that. That's definitely part of it.
She got good hair.
That's real. That is very real.
Yeah.
That would be a splitting hair situation then, if you voted for her.
Well, now you're talking about shampoo.
Yeah, there you go.
God, imagine a male hairdresser. That'd be unbelievable.
I don't think they would do that nowadays, Jay.
Okay, I'm gonna vote for Lee Grant.
Jay.
I'm gonna vote for Lee Grant. You did that. I'm gonna vote for Lee Grant.
Good.
I'm gonna keep it with her.
Hoisted by my own petard.
Well, no, I really do like that performance, and she's such a scene stealer, and she's, I think, just so perfect in that. Lily Tomlin, I was very close to voting for her too, but I think she'll have the votes to win, so I'll keep it with the winner.
No, it's 2-2.
And I also love when Lee Grant, in the back of the car on the way to the Oscars, when someone asked her, "How will you feel if you lose?" she said, "Shitty, honey, really shitty." So I'm gonna keep her from feeling that way.
Yeah.
You know?
I give it to
Also overcame the blacklist, all of that. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's okay.
And that's why, like, I don't want to take it away from her. What a moment, but at the same time.
Yeah.
I give it to Lily Tomlin. Everything that Jay said was correct about the performance. It's just the character I empathize with the most. And I think it was Dan that said it about the I'm Easy scene and just the sadness on her face listening to that song. It's one of those performances. You're right, Dan. Like, you know, it showcased her range and what she could do with that character. And I think that at the core of that movie, there's so many things there's so many ideas, and there's so much that movie wants to say, but then it slows down, focuses on that character. And I think it's a beautiful performance. Erik, where are you going?
Well, I mean, it was really only between Lee Grant and Lily Tomlin for me. And after listening to the last couple of minutes here, I am on Team Lee Grant.
There we go. All right.
God, we got another tie.
Another tie.
This is your fault, Jay.
Yeah. All right. Back to Josh. We'll go around the horn again. Second place. Josh, who would you give it to?
Second place for me, I'm going to keep it in the shampoo family. I'm going to say Goldie Hawn.
Okay. Jay?
I would say that she is more like bronzy Han for me.
Not the question he asked you.
Damn it. Just say that back up.
Ronnie Blakely is my runner-up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Dan.
She might even be off the podium, Han, for me.
Oh my God. Dan, talk, please.
You're going to send me on an Eric rant in a second.
Grant. Okay. Sophia.
Lily Tomlin.
Lily Tomlin.
It was close for me.
Okay. For me, it'd be Ronnie Blakely. Erik.
Lily Tomlin.
Lily Tomlin has 2 second place votes to Lee Grant's 1.
Yeah.
I think Lily Tomlin takes it.
Yay.
Tried to foil Jay as best as possible, but
can't.
But yeah,
it'll happen.
What a story! But Lee Grant, what a story!
Can't do it.
Truly.
Yes.
I mean, that is. Yeah, talk about like a whole career. Somebody should do a film on that. That would be.
She was also like the most excited during Ray Bolger's number when he got into the theater. She was just like so into it. I adore her.
I love her. But I love Lily Tomlin too.
Yeah.
Star of Jay's favorite movie, 80 for Brady, about one of the best moments of his life. That's Super Bowl.
What if my wife almost broke up with me? That's sort of what that movie is about. My then fiance.
Best actor. The winner was Jack Nicholson for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. The other nominees were Walter Matthau for The Sunshine Boys, Al Pacino, Dog Day Afternoon, Maximilian Schell for The Man in the Glass Booth, and James Whitmore for Give Him Hell, Harry. Or, I'm sorry, Give Him Hell, Harry. Sorry, because the exclamation mark there.
Yeah.
I think this is. I mean, there's 2 performances I would keep, and then 3 we
Yeah.
can have a conversation.
No,
on.
yeah, there's 3 you
Yeah.
can kick out easy. So we got to kick the.
We got to
which
get the
2 of the 3.
Which 2 are the worst? Yeah.
Give Him Hell Harry is an abomination and not
James
worthy
Whitmore.
of
Oh,
being
God.
called cinema.
Yeah.
So
Because it's not.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's literally a film stage performance.
Yeah.
Like,
so that
what
is
the hell?
that is the easy one. So then it comes down to Walter Matthau or Maximilian Schell.
Okay. Thoughts, guys?
like coin toss between the 2 of them, honestly. Like,
Yeah, I feel like they're equally garish performances in comedy versus drama. Like they're just doing the same thing, just in different genres.
I would get rid of the man in the glass booth performance. That is such an annoying role and performance and so wanting and so clear. That whole movie is designed to get him an Oscar,
Okay.
which I hate. That movie is almost something. But
Well, it
is
was a
entirely
stage
nothing.
play.
Yeah, yeah.
It was another stage play that they just kind of like barely adapted to film. For
It
that
was barely
American
a movie.
theater,
it was like
whatever
funded
thing that
as
they
a
were doing.
recorded
Yeah,
play. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
But so was the Sunshine Boys. That was another, that was a
Yeah, it was
Eric?
also a play.
Eric,
Yeah.
thoughts?
On who I'd kick out?
Yeah.
I'd probably kick out, if I had my druthers, 3 of the 5.
Well, I
I'd only
understand
keep
that.
Nicholson and Pacino.
I know, but that's not the exercise for playing here, dear.
Well, it seems like Whitmore certainly has the votes, and
Well, he's
should.
out. Yeah,
No, Whitmore's
he's
out.
out. Yeah.
He has lost this.
I don't think
election.
Eric was
Yeah.
listening the last like 3
my
minutes
favorite
of the
part
show.
of that
I think he just.
I generally
is-
don't.
Yeah,
generally
I know.
don't. I'm
I
just
guess.
waiting for my turn to talk, Ryan.
You know what I mean, Sophia? I was just
You
like,
know me.
he didn't listen to a damn
is
thing that just
actually-
happened in this.
I
in
think
this
we
show.
should kick out Maximilian Schell.
Okay,
Yep, I'll do that
You're
too.
welcome.
Yeah.
There we go.
That movie is insane.
It's yeah,
It really
It's
is.
like-
It's
Keep
insane
going.
what just happened on this show. That's what's insane. My God. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're keeping Matthau, Nicholson, and Pacino. Ooh, the long list of replacements. Who are they?
Tim fucking Curry
Yeah, Tim Curry.
for the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I'm Scheider all the freaking way.
Scheider.
Scheider.
Oh, I love him.
Scheider.
Jay, do you want to do this? Do you want to start it or do you want
Oh,
me to?
let's do the Ryan O'Neal conversation. Let's do it. I think there's a conversation to be had. So
Yeah, you go ahead.
no, I mean, so the Ryan O'Neal conversation is this. It is sort of an accidental perfect performance for what that movie is doing, which to me is a film about like decorum and how beautiful people look in paintings and how they are depicted in history when in reality they entirely could have been uncharismatic and not nearly the people depicted in sort of the way that they are reported to have been either in paintings, because Ryan O'Neal, beautiful man in a painting, but an entirely different, uncharismatic scrub in practice, which is what I think makes that performance so incredible. But the problem is that's not what he thought while he was doing the
I know.
performance. We're covering Paul Verhoeven on Director Watch right now, and it's like so many Paul Verhoeven performances where he tricked them into giving the perfect performance, but they're sort of embarrassing performances. So
I was just going to say, you just described Elizabeth Berkley in Showgirls.
Elizabeth Berkley, Starship
I would've-
Troopers.
I
I
think
would've
Elizabeth
given her
Berkley is
the
a way
Oscar.
more complicated case, actually. But like,
I would have given
Yes.
Elizabeth Berkley the Oscar. I think with Ryan O'Neal here, like, is he bad in this movie? Sometimes yes. Like, we can't deny that. Does he, does he deserve to have a part like this? I don't know. But that's also Barry Lyndon.
It sort of upends the entire idea of best actor and the idea
It's
of
just-
performance. Because
And
the whole point is that it is such a performance that his character becomes the entire point of the film.
Mhm.
But do you think that there was a certain maybe intent by Kubrick to do that, not to shame or humiliate him, but to clearly utilize maybe a lack of talent to
100%.
Oh, totally.
exploit that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So actually, that's a best director conversation. But
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, to
Reflection
me,
on
that
Kubrick
is
then
But I think
Ryan
that is more
O'Neal.
that performance on film is much more a feat of direction than it is of acting.
It is. I just think nominating him is the story of Barry Lyndon, which is why I think it's funny and why I wanted to partially throw it out.
It would be very cool.
It is funny, but I think
No.
Ryan O'Neal is the one thing that keeps that movie from being like an unabashed masterpiece, and
Yeah.
I cannot condone.
I think it's
Oh,
the
no,
entire
he's-
point of the
No,
freaking
he's
movie.
giving
He's part
absolutely
of
nothing.
what
the
makes it
whole
a
time.
masterpiece.
Agreed.
That movie,
That's why
I
it's a
don't love that
masterpiece.
performance. I'm sorry.
In-
I don't.
I cannot
Intentionality
condone-
matters.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in that case, I
Where is he
also
from?
want
Different
to.
places.
I want to throw out Warren Beatty for shampoo,
Yeah. I would.
Yeah.
and
Oh,
also
God, what if a guy was
Can
a
you-
What if a
hairdresser?
guy-
What if
That's
a
unbelievable.
straight guy was a hairdresser, Jay? You're missing the important part.
That's
here.
a
Would-
fantasy you're talking about there, Dan.
I would love for him to be my hairdresser. Really, I would. Also, Donald Sutherland for The Day of the Locust. I have to throw him out. I think that's a really good performance. I know the movie isn't as strong as some of the others that we'll talk about, but he is really good in it and really
And his
scary.
character's name is.
Homer Simpson.
There you
Yep.
go.
I might be the biggest defender of The Man Who Would Be King, but I think Connery specifically is worthy of mention in lead actor. You can
Just-
put, I think those are co-leads.
Yeah.
But I like that movie a lot. It's like really gnarly David Lean. I called it David Mean in my Letterboxd review.
Hmm.
Proud of
Um,
yourself with that one.
There's this guy named Robert Redford.
Yeah, I patted myself on the back
Mention.
for that
Yeah.
one. And also, I won
Slow
a
clap.
I won a
Jay,
Pulitzer.
slow clap.
For 3 Days in the Condor.
Are we?
Redford.
Yeah. Are we doing Robert Redford here, or is it just he's
Just for the
like
look?
too far down, really, from like the Roy Scheiders and?
I think Redford is really good in a movie that I think is like I think he's actually very good in a movie that I think is like good but not great.
I
You
love
know?
this movie.
And
I love
Yeah,
3 Days.
Mhm.
I do too.
I think
It's one of my favorite of the genre ever.
I think it's a good movie. I wouldn't call it great, but I think he's wonderful in it. And I also just think that Redford throughout his career is ignored because of his looks. But we also just gave him a bunch of Oscars.
That movie is insane.
For
Could he have
ordinary
been Barry
people.
Lyndon?
Could he
Well,
have?
wasn't he an option? I thought I read that basically the studio said we're only financing this movie if you cast a star.
Yeah.
What
he
if-
was,
And
he was
I
an
think,
option?
Did he offer it to Redford, but he turned it down?
What if
I think
Robert
so.
Redford was
Might
a
be
hairdresser?
true.
I mean, what do
I
you
think Redford would have been better in Shampoo than Barry Lyndon. He's too
Yeah.
rugged.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah.
would've
You
been
needed
perfect in
O'Neill's
Shampoo.
softness.
O'Neill is perfect
Mhm.
casting for Barry
He's
Lyndon.
perfect
Like, I
casting.
think it's
He's-
He
perfect.
just
is-
can't act the part. Is the
But
problem?
that's why it's great.
But is
Sure.
he?
I beg to differ.
Acting the part?
I beg to differ on that one.
Sophia and
But
I
Kind
are
of
on the same
is.
page where that is the magic of the performance and the casting.
Yeah,
I want to
Yep.
throw out a really weird thing because
Okay.
I know that like we have Jack in for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, but
Yes.
is
Oh,
he
this is one that
better
Sophia was
in
vouching
The
for.
Passenger?
Yeah,
This is
a movie
this
I did
was
not
the
watch.
thing I had on my list because he is incredible in The Passenger.
He's so
It's
good.
one of those like understated Jack performances,
Yeah.
which are my favorite, like him and Reds. It's a pretty incredible movie too. I love the long takes. It's Antonioni. Highly recommend. But he's fabulous in The Passenger.
Jay asked this.
I genuinely think he's better in that than Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah,
Mm.
I would too,
Mm.
but I don't know.
I
if
forget.
that's
Do we have a rule about that the Oscars,
Double
don't
nom.
do about double noms?
We did
don't-
that with Nicole Kidman the one time, but I think it was like
Mhm.
a special case.
Yeah, because you
Well, and
guys
that
were
was
like,
also one nomination for two performances. This would be two
Yeah.
nominations,
Yeah.
for
One.
the same person,
yeah.
two slots essentially. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
I'm
you,
okay
Josh.
with keeping it with Cuckoo's Nest just because it was a win for him. And
Can we give him the body
It's
of work
very
like we did
iconic.
with Nicole anyway?
I think that
Like,
is a one-off that we cannot keep doing. No.
That was literally the first one we ever did. I think.
I think
a special
Curry.
case.
I think Curry and Scheider is kind of the answer.
Wow.
I would go Warren Beatty and Robert Redford.
I would go Beatty and Scheider.
Got it.
Let's. Can we officially vote?
Yeah, let's vote.
Yeah,
I
officially
I
vote.
thought originally it sounded like Curry and Scheider were sort of.
I'll throw mine out.
instances.
I would vote for Scheider and Beatty. That's where I would go. So, Dan.
My number one would be Tim Curry, followed by Roy Scheider.
Okay. Sophia would go.
So maybe that is the consensus. I just like when I see Robert Redford's name, I don't know.
I know.
That is a
Like
natural
Lose all other
inclination,
functions.
Sophia.
He's very handsome. He's very handsome.
I think I'd go Warren Beatty, Roy Scheider.
Okay. Eric.
Okay, yeah, this is harder than I would have thought. There
It's
is a
hard.
slightly deeper bench here than
Yeah.
what we're gonna see later.
You need a hot second to think about it?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Curry and Scheider.
Okay. 2 for 2 on those two scenarios, by the way.
Yeah.
Josh.
Well, 2 for.
Well, yeah. Well, no. Because 2 people have done the same pair, and then 2 other people have done the same pair, and I haven't gotten
That
yours or
means
Josh.
2. Okay, that means 2
Yeah.
for 4. You mean
Okay,
2,
yeah.
2, 2, not
Yeah,
2,
2
4, 2.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
Okay.
Anyway,
Right.
yeah. All right. Thank you, Mr. Finance. All right. Josh.
I'm Curry and Beatty.
Curry and Beatty.
Oh wow.
Ooh, wow. All right.
This is fun.
All right. And Jay,
It's fun. I'm Curry and Scheider.
I think it's Curry. I think Curry and Scheider have the votes. And Scheider's definitely
Wow.
in. Curry's in as well. So, okay. Curry, Scheider,
That's fun.
Okay. So
I
we
think
don't
Rocky
wanna-
Horror having representation, I think is
Mathau,
Yeah.
Pacino, and Nicholson. That's the lineup.
Well, Mathau's going to win, right?
Wow.
Eric, are you gonna say something?
No, I mean I know we do a lot of like pre-voting conversation, but once we get to like ties like this,
Oh, I don't think there
I
were
feel
ties.
like it should be a little. I mean, no, I mean it's like when it gets like really, close to something. Maybe
Do
we
we
should
need to
have
hash it out a little
like an
more?
open tribal.
Okay, well,
council.
all right. Well, Okay, well,
Because
Scheider's
Scheider's
in.
So right now it's really between
Curry and Beatty.
Curry and Beatty.
No,
Yeah.
Curry
Right,
had
And
more
I'll say
number
this:
ones than
he
Scheider, I
does great work
thought.
with that hair. I mean, I'll give it to him.
yeah,
Did he? All right.
yeah. He had more number
I'm
ones.
just trying
Who,
to
Curry or Beatty?
cause some trouble.
Curry.
Curry had more number ones.
No, I was asking Jay about the hair.
Oh well,
What he meant that about.
honestly, I
If
mean,
it was the same thing about
look,
Warren
Dr.
Beatty again, or if
Frankenfurter
it was new.
did create the perfect man, but Warren Beatty created the perfect hair.
I will say, even though I voted for Warren Beatty, I think like he wins Oscars later. Like he has, I think, if we're thinking of just like career and the year,
Same with
how
Redford.
iconic the performance is, I get picking Tim Curry here. I think that's fun and
Curry is just
Yeah.
cooler.
Different.
It's a cooler nom.
It's brilliant performance too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think it's good. Like he would be my next probably. Because if Robert Redford, that I just need to put aside. That's okay.
Eric.
Well, I might have similar biases when we get to Best Actress, so
Okay.
we'll get there.
All right. Interesting. All right. Eric, your winner in this category.
Oh, Al Pacino.
Okay.
It's not even close.
Josh?
Can you come back to me?
Yes, I can, Josh. Jay Ledbetter.
Al Pacino, not even close. Like not even remotely close. I think this is one
Why
of the
are
greatest
me
performances
and
of all
Jay
time.
like
You're really on the
putting
same path
these
here.
these false walls up against each other when we're clearly aligned?
Allies. Yeah.
All right, let me just divide again. Gracie Abram.
No. Dan.
Yeah. Dog Day Afternoon is Pacino's best performance.
Yeah.
He should have won the Oscar.
Okay.
Probably should have won more than the Oscar. What's more than
Yeah.
Oscar?
The Nobel Peace Prize. I
Yeah.
don't know.
A full EGOT just for
A full
this.
EGOT
Yes,
just for
just for
that.
this one performance.
Sophia.
Pacino for me, also like pretty easy choice. One of my favorite stories about Dog Day Afternoon is that Lumet in the scene when Pacino's having a conversation with his mom on the phone, he gave Pacino the instruction to improv the entire scene and not go according to script. And that is not the direction that he gave to his mom. So you see this incredible back and forth between them. And I think that's just some of the power of Pacino's acting, also Lumet's direction. But this is a very sweaty, emotional, intense performance. And I mean, if not the best in his career, very close. So Pacino for me.
Josh.
So even though I know that Pacino has it, I really was going back and forth between him and Jack because I think that while I absolutely love Al Pacino in Dog Day Afternoon, and absolutely that's an incredible performance, and I love the like so much of the internal work that he does. When I rewatched Cuckoo's Nest, I kind of forgot how great Jack Nicholson is in that
He's
film.
amazing.
And I think it's sometimes easy to forget that just because it's such a iconic performance and that you kind of take it for granted sometimes. But I think that is a performance that still has a lot of internal layers to it. Like, yes, it is very boisterous in a lot of places, but I do think you see him like kind of figuring things out in all of these situations. And he's an observer a lot of the times in that movie as well. And I love what he does in those moments too. And it became a much harder decision for me after I rewatched it because I think that it's not just big antics that Jack does in that film. I think there's actually a lot more happening, and it's very, very, very close between the two. And I do think, though, my vote, I think it will go to Pacino just because it's a little bit more impressive with some of the smaller moments that he is charged with. But I think Jack is fantastic in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and I don't think that that should go unnoticed while we have this conversation.
I think Jack in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is unimprovable. I don't think there's anyone else you could cast in that role who could give a performance that comes anywhere near that.
It is crazy, the sort of intersection between the two's careers and how these two performances are the culmination of all the things that they've been working on for the last 4, 5, 6 years of their career at this time. You see in Jack's performance in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest for myself, you see Five Easy Pieces, and you see Easy Rider, and you see The Last Detail, and you see Chinatown. You see this guy building to this performance and building to being the ultimate movie star. And then in Pacino, you see that experimentation, and you see that commanding presence that can be at points that are calm and then can be boisterous, you know, and you think about him, The Godfather, you think Serpico. And I'm going with Pacino.
It's a swipe.
It's slightly with Pacino because, like
Jack
Josh,
is incredible.
I watched Cuckoo's Nest again and I just forgot. And I think Jay, you texted me, maybe you texted me and Sophia, and was like, do we underestimate?
Oh, I said this. Yeah.
That was Sophia.
Well, there was a
said we
Sophia that
underrate
said
Jack
it.
Nicholson.
Do we
And I
underrate
said,
Jack Nicholson?
No, not the people in this.
Not
text,
not in this, not in this,
Not me.
not here today. But I think we do. I think we just, you know, maybe because Jack's retired and we don't see him a lot anymore, and it's been a long time. I mean, obviously, like we see some good Pacino performances every now and then, like because he had one a couple of years ago with The Irishman. But we know about the legacy that Pacino lays the groundwork in the 70s with his run.
And then he has an absolutely abysmal 80s and wins an Oscar for
in the 90s.
A bad movie.
Exactly. But they're both movies
Nicholson
with
never
these
really
lead
wavered.
performances on the back of their actors in a lot of ways. And they have these great directors, they have great supporting performances, but there's these two titanic performances going at each other this year. And Jack wins in a lot of ways also for not winning for Chinatown. He wins for this as well too. And this movie was big, and I get that. You know, but Pacino, he's doing things in that movie that it's the best work of his career.
Unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
That movie is so good.
So good.
It's
one
a
of the
movie
best
star
movies of the
performance.
decade.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
Jack's magic his whole career was having great taste and giving himself over to filmmakers, for the most part. And then he liked to paycheck every now and then as well. But he had great taste, and he was very willing to make himself seem pathetic and or abused, which is something that not all movie stars can do. So he's kind of the great intersection of true actor and great charismatic movie star. And One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is a great example of that.
And it's completely different for
But he
Pacino
lost. He
than,
got swept.
Yeah, it's completely different for Pacino. The last time we had seen him he was Michael Corleone, and then he's doing this. It's complete night and day. These are two of the great performances of all time, two performances of the decade. But Al Pacino, no one can resist his Dunkachino. He's got the Oscar.
Absolutely. That's what they said at the time as well.
Exactly.
Yes.
Eric,
I do think it's fascinating that these are also the only two actors that, well, are alive with relevance now. But I mean, they were really curating their personas as we sort of recognize them now. Jack Nicholson wearing sunglasses at the Oscars. That's just like a thing that is a part of the entire fabric of movies and of the Oscars. Al Pacino giving a harried, sweaty performance is just a part of what we think of when we think of him. And it's funny, obviously, looking at these 50 years away from it, that at the time this was the beginning of it, and we can only really look at it, in how we kind of see them now and how they're acknowledged now. But yeah,
I do remember when James Whitmore was front and center at the Oscars in 1995, I believe it was. But
he was actually who it was going to be for As Good as It Gets, and they're like, no, we can get Jack, we can do better, which is crazy. Eric, Best Actress.
Oh boy. All right. We have our winner, Louise Fletcher, for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Isabella Gianni for The Story of Adele H, and Margaret for Tommy.
Yes.
I can't wait to talk about this. Glenda, Miss Jackson, If You're Nasty for Hedda, and Carol Kane for Hester Street. Crazy batch here.
It's a weird batch.
It's, and Margaret is still one of the all-time absolute nutter butter fucking nominations here.
We can't get rid of her.
Literally.
We can't get rid of her.
No, I can't. No, I can't get rid of that performance.
either.
No, Glenda Jackson out. Get out of here. Get out.
If I can say, as an Atlantean, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. You're out.
Are you for real, Jay?
I am for real. Unfortunately, I am for real. She's not going to make it. That was one of the exclusively on YouTube films that I did watch, and I also did not know that they're doing a readaptation of that, which is interesting.
I think it's just called adaptation. You don't need to put re in front of adaptation. It already implies that it's adapted.
Okay. Another adaptation of that.
There you go.
If it is an adaptation on top of one that already exists, I think it is a readaptation.
But is that what it is?
I don't know.
Anyway,
I haven't seen it yet.
God, the two of you,
TIFF.
what the fuck? Like,
Yes, that's right.
It's coming to TIFF, and
Thompson.
Tessa Thompson is taking over the role of Hedda. I'm looking
Yes.
forward to that. I actually think Glenda is quite good in Hedda, but
She's
it's
fine. I'm just
also
tired of her.
a very
She's
dated
playing
movie.
she's playing to the
Tired of
rafters
her?
in that one.
it's like she's like calling you every day. This
She
bitch
has,
gonna
like-
get off the
She
phone.
already has 2 Oscars, one completely unearned, and we already talked about that in that podcast. So no, out. Bye. Get her out.
I get rid of Carol Kane.
No,
I think
like
Carol
Carol
Kane is
Kane.
good. I
she's
think
I
she's
so
like
good.
good
Carol
in that
Kane.
movie.
I'm not getting rid of the
Oh my
other three.
gosh.
I don't want to get rid of the other.
But
three.
we also don't
We
have
again,
to get
we
rid
don't
of
have
her.
to.
Maximum.
I mean,
of
I would
two.
get rid of
Like,
Anne Margaret. Let's be real. people.
No.
Oh, Jay.
No.
No,
Jay.
no,
Jay, again.
no.
Sometimes
No.
it's okay not to say things with Eric on podcast. You might choose violence.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't want to live in a world where Anne Margaret for Tommy is not canon, where it's not something that has happened.
I'm
I
okay
need
with
to
doing it
have a
just
Ken
for, like,
Russell directed
austerity.
performance nominated for an Oscar.
I love Ken Russell.
Yeah.
Do we want to just?
I don't know. Just kick out Glenda Jackson.
Do we
Yeah,
just want
That's
to?
fine. I don't think the roster is that deep beyond
That's
the
the
thing,
nominee.
too.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
That
We'll
is,
just
once-
kick out the one for now, and we'll talk, and we'll bring this back up if we need to kick somebody out again. Let's throw out some names. Who would like to start?
The thing is, I have nobody else I'm enthusiastic about.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Jay, for helping.
I have one, and no one else has seen it. I am 98% sure.
Oh,
But
start out.
Romy Schneider is brilliant in L'Important c'est d'aimer, the Andrei Zulawski movie from this year. No one else has seen that. So I will instead say, I think Catherine Ross is much better in The Stepford Wives than she gets credit for.
She's on my list.
Yay. Yes, me too.
Thank you,
That's
Sophia.
great.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Do
she's on
it.
my list.
That makes me so happy.
I also am so sorry to say this for a couple of reasons, but Eric, since you're here, Karen Black for The Day of the Locust.
Oh,
I
shit.
knew
I knew you were
it was
gonna do
coming.
this.
I knew it was coming.
There it is.
She's good in that movie that I
I won't
Just
deny
watched this
that at
week.
all.
yeah.
Yeah,
She's
I won't
great.
deny that at all.
Yeah, from what I saw of Day of the Locust, she was impressive. Yeah.
I watched Nashville instead of that. I must be honest.
Jay, have you already said that on the show already?
I have.
Okay, I just wanted to make that clear
I just want to reiterate
to the
for the
listeners.
listeners.
Jay, what are your thoughts on Diane Thorne and Ilse She-Wolf of the SS?
Oh,
That's actually what I was. I
I
thought that was going to
actually-
be an easy pick for you.
Talk about a documentary for him.
It's a little problematic.
Kino
Wow.
Kino
Seems
Lorber just
pretty
announced.
relevant.
Yeah,
now.
Kino Lorber just announced they're putting that out on 4K. So there
Yeah.
you go. Jake,
Exactly.
pick it up.
4K titties.
Congratulations
Oh my God,
to them.
there it
I'm
is.
Very happy for them.
Yep.
Good job, Eric.
I
Okay.
believe that's called a setup.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
payoff. Or
It's an
what's
an
that, a
alley
layup
oop.
or a-
Yeah,
an
layup.
alley-oop.
There you
Two and
go.
All of those things.
It
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
called a
those
free throw.
Three-pointer,
Mhm.
free throw, all of them.
Yeah.
Whatever. Just put
An
them all in.
absolute sacrifice bunt.
Okay, so who are we putting
Oh,
in?
that's right. This is
Do you guys have
bleak.
any more, or is it just really
Is there
those
any
two?
more?
It's tough.
I feel like it's bleak.
Those are the two that I
Yeah.
had, unless we want to put Faye Dunaway in lead, but she was on my supporting list.
Not for that film.
Honestly, I would like to circle back and say I'm
Oh.
sorry, Miss Jackson. I might keep you in.
Can we?
No.
We had talked about her earlier, but I said Susan Sarandon I think is a lead in Rocky Horror. So
I would love
will throw
to
her
put
back
her
out
in.
here.
That would be fun. I think she's great
Maybe. Yeah.
She's really good in the movie.
and huge crush.
I was about to say, is this another important person for you, Jay?
Yeah, it's kind of what it
At
feels
least in
like.
this movie.
Sometimes attractiveness is the tiebreaker.
No, I get
Oh.
it.
That was me
Yeah.
in the last category.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say that was the Redford of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Can
We're
we
not
talk
immune
about
to
how
that.
crazy though this year had 2 sequels of Oscar-winning lead performances? that
Yeah, I was gonna
absolutely
ask about
I was
shit
gonna
that.
say, like,
the
does
bed.
anyone want to
Yeah.
stick up for Katharine Hepburn and Rooster Cogburn in this
Oh,
category?
I'm thinking Funny Lady
Funny
and French
Lady?
Connection 2.
Mm.
Which connection too?
Will Wicked for Good follow Funny Lady's lead?
Mm.
Cross your fingers there.
It's more of a
Okay,
magic
all right.
lady.
We got a many months for you to complain about Wicked,
That's
Ryan. We don't need to start this now.
It didn't get Best Picture here technically, Sophia. So
or
Come
best
on, replace
actress,
Glenda
so-
Jackson with somebody. Just pick one. I don't
yeah,
care.
Yeah.
I like
This
Catherine
is-
Ross.
Jay
I like
doesn't
that.
care about women. News.
Yeah.
I
There we go.
love. We already
Yeah.
knew that. I love the Catherine Ross
Thank
choice. I think that could be so
God
much
that I am
fun
self-deprecating. I mean, it is, the abuse I take on this show is unbelievable.
We only give you the abuse because you're so self-deprecating. Jay.
Exactly. Yeah.
here. It's actually a humiliation kink, so
Yeah, exactly.
we know it.
All right, is
You're
Kath-
like a
I would-
attractive white guy, Jay. Like you have the biggest armor out of everybody here. So like, come on.
Yeah, you've been like
True.
touting for like weeks. So I look like David Cornsweat. You can
I
deserve to
have
get
not said
knocked
that.
down a
People have
couple
said
of
it
steps.
to me.
He said like his
And you have
grandma
been
said that to
very
him. or
vocal
something.
about reminding everyone that people have said it to you.
I look like Justin Theroux in the right light. You know,
No, look, that is one of my all-time anecdotes, and I also said that the person who said that is a fool.
Wow.
So
shout out to Jay's family, who he said.
shout out to
was
my
a fool.
family, encouraging me and reinforcing my self-confidence. Which
Sophia, you were
I
going to
have a
say
difficult time
something
Oh, I was just gonna get back to the category
to the
and
point,
say
yeah,
that-
of the show. Okay,
Yeah,
thank
instead of
you.
me
I
getting
would-
made fun of continuously.
Yeah, I'm gonna help you out, Barry Lyndon here. I'm gonna,
I am the Ryan O'Neal of Awards Watch. That really is what it is.
Both
There you
on
go.
screen and off. There you go. Anyway, continue.
I was
Perfection.
just gonna say that I think if I did have a vote, like if we were voting on the two, I would vote for Karen Black.
Okay, Karen Black. Josh said Catherine Ross.
Yeah.
Eric.
I cannot, in my right mind, support Joey Gentile in any form. So Catherine Ross is where I would go with this.
Okay. Dan. Oh, Dan. I've lost Dan. Jay, can you give us your opinion on either one of them?
I'm keeping Glenda Jackson. Man.
Oh, you're going to keep Glenda Jackson. Okay, buddy.
I'm staying
Um,
ahead of the ball here.
You know what? I'm going to pick Karen Black just so that Dan has to do the tiebreaker. So there you go.
Oh, great. Well, in that case, then I'd say, you know what? I'm going to make us go to sudden death and say
Oh,
Susan
God.
Sarandon.
Well, it would. Oh, okay. All right.
All right.
Well, if
Okay.
if that's the case, then wouldn't the votes just matter and you have to vote again and Jay would have to vote again? Because
That's true.
Normally, when we do this, we go around for what
It's-
the second
yeah,
place
for what
was.
second?
Mm.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
since
it's
Jay
usually
picked
for winners,
neither
not for
of
nom.
these-
I mean,
of
But
these
only
top
for the
two, though.
only for the
That's
top
fine.
two, though.
yeah.
Right? Though it doesn't really.
I usually
matter.
only do it for winners in this case.
Yeah, I think in that case it would still come down to just
You and Jay. So you just deflected for 10 seconds to
Yeah.
get us to where we need to go, which is to pick a damn name.
It's the
Okay.
best actress category. Of course, it's going to take us longer.
That's fair.
I mean-
That's true.
Yeah, that's fine. But
Okay.
fine, fair. Like I will stick by my initial suggestion and say Catherine Ross.
Okay.
Okay.
Jay?
Tie goes to the babe, Susan Sarandon.
Well, he
What
picked
the
Linda
hell?
Jackson, and then okay, it's Catherine Ross.
I haven't seen either of those films that are the
Just pick a name, dude.
I just said Susan Sarandon. Sorry.
Well, she wasn't one of the two, but all right. Anyway,
I gotta be true to myself for my number two.
that's fair. Okay. So Catherine Ross, Carol Kane, Anne Margaret, Isabel Johnny, Louise Fletcher. That's it.
Mhm.
Long way to get there. Eric, your winner.
Oh my god, I forgot we have to do that part too.
Yeah.
That did actually feel like it was the end.
Yeah.
So
It
the most
did.
important part. Yeah.
You know what? I love Louise Fletcher, but
Mhm.
I'm going with Isabella Johnny.
Yes.
Okay.
That is just way too raw and cool of a performance for a 20-year-old.
Dan.
Isabella Johnny is a total force of nature in L'Histoire de Delache, and yeah, I absolutely would vote for her.
The pronunciations today. Wow. Everybody's doing their Duolingo. All right. Josh.
I am going to stick with Louise Fletcher. I think Ajani is very good in a movie that I don't really love, but I don't deny that performance is great. But you know, as we have already mentioned, like Fletcher just makes such an impression on that movie that even when she's not there, you still kind of feel the presence of that character, and that takes a very strong performance. So I am still going to stick with her, even though there is a whole conversation about the category. I don't care. I still love that performance.
J-Dog.
Yeah, I mean, I think Anne Margaret's performance as Tommy is sort of like an undeniable turn. I think. No, I'm going with Isabella Johnny, I think it is sort of as the traditional lead, like the true lead. I think
Mm.
Fletcher, you could argue, is you couldn't even argue. It's inarguably the more iconic performance. But Johnny, I think, really, she's in every scene of that movie, you know.
Mm.
And I think that is worth something. So
It's
if
the
you
titular role.
if you sort of say those are both undeniable, incredible performances, and she is the entire driving force of that movie, I think that's sort of where she separates herself. And extremely memorable. That sense of longing and by the end of it, mania. I think her arc is pretty remarkable.
Sophia.
Well, this is exciting because as much as I love Louise Fletcher's performance, Isabella Johnny's my winner here. I think she's commanding and captivating from the first frame until the last. And really, I think what makes this performance such a magic trick is that she's so young and you can tell how young she is, but it's such a mature performance the whole way through. So a Johnny for me.
I love Louise Fletcher in Le Cuckoo's Nest. Um,
Of course, yeah.
that, but I will go with Isabella Johnny because I think she's phenomenal. We gave Louise Fletcher an A and put her in the A tier for the best actress tier ranking recently, and I believe the reason why we didn't put Fletcher in S was the category stuff, but also because of this performance. So it is nice that we, as a group here, gave a Johnny this win.
Louise Fletcher is
Continuity.
unbelievable
Great.
in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's
She's
Nest.
wonderful in
She's
that movie.
great.
Yeah.
She's great. The only thing is, like, when on watching it, and Josh, I mean, everybody here who saw it this week or outside of Eric, because he didn't do any work.
That's a movie I have not seen in a minute.
Josh,
I will say.
I know this. I was watching it. I did kind of, by the end of it, while the character's so good and she's great in the performance, it didn't feel like they had that character have like a finality to it. It just kind of focuses a lot on Nicholson at the end and what happens with him, and kind of leaves her in those last couple of moments just to the side. That's what I felt when I watched it, but maybe I saw a
I
different film than
mean,
everybody else.
it is
But
more of McMurphy's story.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
yeah, but she's still very good.
yeah, I mean, I'm not arguing again like category whatever. I'm just saying what is the performance that impacts me the most. And I would say also overall, I am somebody that does value kind of the quiet, internalized performances a little bit more than the
Mm.
bigger swings, and not to say that those aren't impressive either and that Ajani isn't great, but I just think personally my tastes tend to fall more in line with what Fletcher does in Cuckoo's Nest, and I just respond to that a little bit more.
Yeah, no, for
I want to
sure.
say how much I love Fletcher's Oscar speech, though,
Yeah.
because it's for two reasons. One, the signing for her parents is absolutely beautiful, but right off the bat, acknowledging how much her character is hated and that she kind of still won in spite of that, which is such a wonderfully veiled way to talk about female characters and how they're perceived, and being able to win something like this while being such a movie villain, essentially.
Yeah.
I thought it was such a great speech.
Yeah, it's very rare to see the villain win in the actress category as opposed to the actor category. We have recent examples, we have old examples of this. It's very, very rare. So, but Isabella Johnny's our winner.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked
Me
that
too,
we
but I'm
went
very
away
happy.
from both of the
Same.
leads here. I did not see this coming.
I'm going to give this over
Good for us.
to Dan Bayer,
Yeah.
Best Director.
Aha. Best Director. The nominees were Federico Fellini for Amarcord, Stanley Kubrick for Barry Lyndon, Sidney Lumet for Dog Day Afternoon, Robert Altman for Nashville, and of course, the winner, Milos Forman for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
All right. Are we replacing anyone?
I mean,
I don't want to replace anyone, honestly.
I don't love Emmercord, so
I
will.
don't
It's
either.
not American enough. For me.
There you go.
Also, there was a movie called Jaws that came out this year
Yeah.
that probably deserves
That's
some
the
Yeah.
conversation I think we have. The Spielberg, right?
Yeah.
Famous snub.
I mean, he did get beat
Um,
by Fellini.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's wild. That would be the replacement I had, is swap
Me
out
too.
Fellini for Spielberg. That would be the one. And then I would leave the lineup alone after that.
It's such a savage snub, and it was at the
know, I
time.
love it.
It's
and
such
and it is in
fucking
retrospect.
bullshit snub. It's
when
so
you, when
wild.
you, yeah, because no one looks at Fellini's filmography and puts Amarcord in like the top tier of it. Anybody can do that with Spielberg and Jaws, even though he has a canon that is insane.
He's 27 years old when
I think
makes
he
this
did a
movie.
pretty good job with Jaws. I gotta say.
Crazy. Yeah.
He shouldn't have recorded himself though. That was a bad.
Well, that's what a
bad
27-year-old does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and also the challenge, the personal challenges he was facing, not thinking that he was doing a good job on this. You know, it's always the productions that you hear about, when you hear those stories that then usually make for some really great films. And then of course, directing this movie at such a young age and doing it and creating essentially the modern blockbuster. It had big films before, but this was a phenomenon. I mean, shit, people couldn't get it out of the fucking water. You know what I mean? Like they didn't want to go swimming because of this thing. Nobody was saying that about Amarcord, and nobody has. So
I like Amarcord, but Fellini was also nominated in the category for 8.5, La Dolce Vita.
his better
movies
work.
that
Yeah.
are, and he should have won for 8.5 because that was the Tom Jones year, I believe. So
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
It's a great intersection though of the beginning of Spielberg's career and not the end of Fellini's, but like
But
he,
yeah.
like you said, he had already amassed a lot of Academy attention, which is why he's here. And you know, the film was nominated the year before in foreign language, but the release date made it eligible for everything else here. So it's a great kind of convergence of where each of their careers were right at the time.
well, and then they just
Yeah.
after this they stop forgetting. Oh, okay. After this, we can start nominating him when Close Encounters and Raiders, and they go, and then on and on and on and on from
Yeah,
there.
I mean, it was a wake up call. It was like, oh wow, that was not a good idea.
No, it wasn't. It was like the biggest movie of the year.
It's
What
like
are we
you're not
doing?
going to win for
Yeah.
30 more years, 20 more years, but like,
But we'll invite you to the show.
mhm.
Free cocktails. You know. Does
Yeah,
anybody
I
else
figured
have
that
anything
was-
else?
I mean, I know that this is what's going to be locked in. So, like, I figured that was the switch you were going to make, Fellini for Spielberg. And I'm not saying this because it's going to happen. I'm just saying in my world, like, yes, I'm not the Nashville person, so I would drop Altman and I would replace him with Ken Russell for Tommy because I love that movie. And I think Ken Russell was a crazy person that I miss
Yes.
not making movies anymore today.
Yes.
And I think
Yes.
his vision of that film is insane and I love it. So that's what I would do, but I know that's
Insane.
not happening and I'm perfectly fine, but just wanted to throw that out there in terms of who was another person I really loved in terms of their directing.
I love
That's
that.
very fun.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's cool in theory, but it's not going to happen.
As I said, I know it's not happening. I just wanted to give him a shout out.
I
Foreman,
also
yeah.
similarly would just shout out Hal Ashby for Shampoo.
Yeah.
I know he won't make it in. He wouldn't even be my pick to make it in. That's Spielberg, but wanted to just mention him.
it's kind of just great that it's just like a one swap, and then that's it because it's such a good lineup. Foreman,
We might be on the verge
Kubrick.
of a zero swap. So
Lumet, Altman, and Steven Spielberg. Those are our nominees. Josh, who would you give the win to for Best Director?
Very tough choice.
Yes.
Because these are all very good options. And I wrestled back and forth a lot with this. But I do think my rewatch of Cuckoo's Nest like kind of reminded me how much I really do love that movie. And Milos Forman's direction of that material, I feel like is something that I do tend to respond to a lot. And I do like his very, it's subtle in a way, but it really does let you feel invested in that environment with those characters. And I really found myself kind of leaning in to that story because of the way that he approaches that material. And while I am a fan of a lot of the work in this category, I don't think there's really a bad way you can go. At the end of it, I just found myself feeling like, man, I kind of forgot a lot about, Cuckoo's Nest in terms of how much I loved it. And I think his direction impressed me more than I remembered. So, in a very, very close race, I think I am leaning towards keeping it with Foreman.
Jay Ledbetter.
Yeah, I think a week ago I would have been Barry Lyndon, and then I saw Barry Lyndon in a theater. The 1975 movies are kind of making the rounds right now, and now I am so emphatically Barry Lyndon. It's unbelievable. I've always kind of considered Barry Lyndon one of my five favorite movies of all time. I think there is so much to discuss. Every time I watch that movie, I find seven more things that I think are masterful about it. And in addition to it being one of the most painterly, every frame a painting films of all time, I think part of what is so wonderful about that film is that it is all about how the medium of film kind of transcends still paintings and how it transcends history and is able to add context to images that in ways that still images are not able to. And it is also the ultimate kind of farce with regards to decorum and um, the way that victors tell history in a way that the bourgeoisie is sort of responsible for the ways that we interpret things. So it is one of my favorite films of all time, and I think it deserves the win here.
Bourgeoisie. Wow. Okay. Dan.
Um, for me, it's Sidney Lumet. Dog Day Afternoon is a masterpiece. The way he creates atmosphere in that movie is unmatched, I think. Where you really feel like you are in this really hot, sweaty, claustrophobic space along with them. And in addition to that, the way he uses humor as a real release valve in that movie is also pretty phenomenal. And as things get more hectic and crazy as things go on, the filmmaking gets clearer, which is a real rarity. And on top of that, a whole ensemble's worth of some of the best performances of the decade. I can't go with anyone else.
Erik.
This might be, I mean, we've matched this category maybe with what Best Picture is going to look like. And we've been talking a lot about directors and directing, and there is such a fantastic time and place in each of these that is so specific and so unique, and also what feels like in a way that could only be them, even though Spielberg was brand new at this. Clearly, looking back 50 years, he was the exact and only person that could have done this, and the degree of difficulty enormous, maybe more than anybody else here, probably more than anyone else here. Um, I think this is Kubrick's best film. I think no one else could have done this. And the whole Ryan O'Neal conversation is a fantastic part of this because it's so intentional. Dog Day Afternoon may be the most New York movie almost ever made. It can only feel and be that. I think Lumet was the most perfect person for that. I think Cuckoo's Nest is similar in that where I don't know if it was like it could only have been Milos Forman, but we're looking at this as a retrospective, really. So you look at Amadeus or Larry Flint, and you understand and you see it, and then it makes absolute perfect sense. This is the hardest category, because I think, Dan, you're absolutely right.
And then Robert Altman, you don't want to talk about.
And Robert Altman, sorry. Yes. Again,
fuck that guy.
Time and place. Yes, Altman. A perfect
very
example.
Non-specific movie.
He's such a perfect example of a director, unlike some, that knows when to step back and when to let the actors and cinematographer and that sort of take over. And it's not that he isn't a director in the same way that everybody else is, but there's something about his work that just, and certainly in Nashville, that lets it's discovery. He's discovering it like we're discovering it. And Nashville is probably the best example and version of that. So can I do a 5-way tie?
No.
5-way tie. Let's do it.
No.
Okay.
There's no wrong answer here is the cool part.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there is no wrong answer. This is not what I would have thought coming into this, but I think I might pick Spielberg.
Great answer.
Yeah.
Jaws is a good film, I think.
Very well directed.
It's, again, degree of difficulty, humor, understanding humor. He knows humor in moments before and after terror, and just like really kind of like nobody else does.
Yeah. It reminds me of, because it is sort of the quote unquote normie answer. You know, you hear Steven Soderbergh asked, "What's your favorite movie of all time?" And he's like, "It's a lame answer, but Jaws is my favorite movie ever made." And it's like, fair, you know, like it's a great movie. But it's a great movie in a way that is satisfying to everyone, which is why people who consider themselves sort of cinephiles, they're like, "Oh, Barry Lyndon," like me, like a pretentious prick like me. I'm like, Barry Lyndon is probably better. When in reality, like Jaws might be the best movie ever made. It's entirely possible. So it's a fair answer, but there's no wrong answer in this category. Jaws rocks. So good.
Sophia.
It's got a big shark in it, which is cool.
Sophia.
Yeah, I mean, there really is no wrong answer. Like you could really pick any of them, and I think it would make sense. A movie called Barry Lyndon, I watched for the first time when I was in college as part of an art history class. And Jay, what you were saying about this, being a film that shows what can occur right outside of a still life painting is entirely true. And it's why I think the visuals of the film are so important, is that it captures perfectly how people probably lived at that time, but also I think with so much, it's not just like a stale period drama. It is like funny and so lived in and so Kubrick entirely. And I think, when I think of Barry Lyndon and when I first watched it, I just thought this is my movie. It just had that feeling for me that you have that sometimes with movies, and this has been my favorite Kubrick now for years. I think it's every bit as revolutionary as 2001: A Space Odyssey, which is just heralded as his masterpiece. I think he has many of them. I think this is one of them. And I think when I think about how all of the elements really come together here, like we've talked about earlier, like I mentioned with the production design and the costumes and what John Alcott is doing with how they capture candlelight, those performances, the casting, all of that is Kubrick. And I think it is just a mesmerizing, hilarious, heartbreaking movie that's unlike anything else, despite the fact that this period and this on its surface style of movie has been done by so many. This is the peak form of that for me. So I have to go Kubrick.
It's the form, man. It's the form.
Mm-hmm.
I think, Dan mentioned this earlier about Lumet and how wonderful his direction is and how hot and claustrophobic you feel when you're watching that film. Nashville, you feel, I mean,
the Tennessee Twirlers.
Yeah. You feel just the the anxiety surrounding, I think, all the madness that goes on in that film, and just the gut punch with a hint of optimism at the end of that film. Spielberg, again, I'm going to say this, a 27-year-old making maybe the greatest film of all time is crazy. Like, that's an insane thing. Foreman making this incredibly empathetic, beautiful film and if he didn't have Amadeus, some of the best work of his career, right up there with Amadeus. And to Eric's point, you see from here, you see what comes after this. This is the example, I think, of a win. Then the career really kicks off for Foreman and then creates even better work, just a few years later. And then there's that guy, Stanley Kubrick, who is pretty good at his job and has a lot of really great films. Some think he has a perfect filmography. I do not believe that, but I think that this is his best film. I'm firmly in that camp. And I think that of everyone, this is, once again, Jay is correct. There's not a bad choice here. I'm just leaning in this category. Maybe in a different category, I'll lean somewhere else. But in this category, I lean Stanley Kubrick. Because I think that this is the best direction of his career. I think this is the best work of his career. I think that Josh mentioned the editing and the pacing of this movie. It's so deliberate and it's so engaging with the audience. He's pushing the form in ways that people would be inspired by. We hear it on Letterboxd 4s from directors, and the restorations of this film. We thought about it even a little bit at Cannes. I know at least Eric and Sophia and myself, but we were too damn tired to see it there on the 4K restoration. We thought about it. It's a truly beautiful, beautiful film, and that to get that performance from Ryan O'Neal is great, but then just to have all the context of this epic, put it all together and make it be this lasting masterpiece. I'm going to go with Kubrick. He also, every one of the films now have a win in the category as well, for a category, so we have done a good job of spreading the wealth here today before we get to picture. But I think that this is the right placement for this film. If it was to win something, this is the right place. And so I'm going Stanley Kubrick, and that will give him the win. But I don't think anyone can be mad at that because, again, there's no wrong answers in this one.
There's one for me, but
yes, I know, I understand.
I thought, Ryan, you might go there for a second, and I would have enjoyed that too.
I almost did.
Yeah.
But also I would
just to watch me listen to him. Yeah. I would pick others for Altman in terms of direction. But he's close. I understand what Eric's saying with Spielberg because I watched it today before the show. And maybe that almost skewed everything. I think whichever movie you watch last might be the one that you lean towards because you watch them and you're like, well, that's a 5. All these movies are 5 out of 5s for me. They're all 5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. They're all that for me, period. So, but maybe I'm different. Maybe I'm the only 5 out of 5 for it, but maybe,
No, mine, they're all 5 out of 5 for me, I think, too. I was just laughing because the last movie I technically watched was Once Is Not Enough. So.
Oh, well, I meant of these 5, but sure.
Yeah,
yes,
no, I know.
Sophia, can you do us the favor in saying the nominees for Best Picture?
Yes. So our winner was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And our other nominees, we have Barry Lyndon, Dog Day Afternoon, Jaws, and Nashville. 10 out of 10, perfect lineup. I don't think we should replace anything.
No, we're not going to replace
We're not going to. I would
No.
say I do love my Python the Holy Grail, but I would not.
Yes.
But I do not know what I would replace it with. That's the problem here. Maybe Cuckoo's Nest, but I just watched Cuckoo's Nest and I thought that was incredible. So like, and I'm not going to remove that. So
I just want to say again how lucky we are to not have like a Hindenburg nomination in the era of Towering Inferno and all of that.
yes,
Very true.
Because
Mm.
Hindenburg
Airport,
did not
yeah.
do very well nominations wise, but if it had the way that like Inferno had, absolutely one of these movies would be missing and we would be having a much longer conversation.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, we're keeping everything
Yeah. I
the way it is.
whether you're a populist or a cinephile or whatever in between, I don't know how you could not.
Well, this is.
I don't want to know you.
I don't
think
know
that-
how you could improve upon this.
No, I think that this
No-
is just
no
great-
offense, Josh. I know Nashville
No,
aside.
no. It's like I have lived with my feelings about Robert Altman being in the minority for my entire life. So I get it. It was not a fight I was going to put up. It's fine. I understand. Like, yes, it's not the one I would have in this lineup. I would replace it with Shampoo, but I don't have an issue. I know that movie is still very well respected. So
Josh,
Wait,
which film would you
Fine,
replace
so
it with?
good. What?
What film would you replace it with? You broke up there for a second, Josh.
I would replace it with Shampoo.
Okay,
That was
Shampoo.
cool.
Okay, all right.
Makes the hell out of that hair. Undeniable.
There it is.
One last dig for you.
Josh, I'll start with you then. Best Picture, what did you give it to?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of great options here, but it's funny, Ryan. I don't think Cuckoo's Nest was the last film I saw this group. I think that actually was Barry Lyndon, but
Mhm.
I think Cuckoo's Nest was the one that I had not rewatched the longest out of that group. And I did forget how much I really did love that movie. And, I loved that movie when I was a kid. And then as, you get older, you watch more movies and you kind of feel like, well, that's just the default answer. You don't want to keep going back to it. But revisiting it, I really was reminded how much I love the investment in this world that feels like so intimate, and it really feels like you get a great bond with these characters and the journey that McMurphy is going through. And as I said when I talked about Nicholson's performance, there are big things in it, but there's also very small moments too where you really get a sense of what he's thinking internally, and you feel that way with that entire group too. And I love the entire cast of that movie. That so many of those performances I laugh at, they break my heart, and I found myself kind of like rediscovering my love of that movie. And even though all of these films have merits to them that I really did enjoy, coming back to Cuckoo's Nest just kind of touched me in my soul in a way that I wasn't expecting, and just brought me back to why I fell in love with that movie in the first place. So I am still going to vote for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest for Best Picture.
Jay.
Yeah, I think I've kind of revealed already what my pick is. It's Barry Lyndon. It's honestly, it's probably one of my 3 favorite movies of all
Went from
time.
5 to 3. There we go.
Yeah, it's probably one of my 3 favorite movies of all time. It's absolutely one of the greats. Again, I think every time you watch it, there's so much to explore in addition to it just generally being one of the most beautifully photographed films of all time. It is a film that gets richer and richer with each watch. It is truly one of the great comedies of all time. I was saying earlier to you and Sophia that there's one scene that feels like it is as much out of a Lonely Island film as it is out of, like a prestige drama. It really feels like so slapstick and so funny. The situations that the characters find themselves in are funny, not just because they are farcical, but they're funny because they are sort of reflecting on the way that we reflect on history. And I think as far as the way that it talks about the way that we talk about everything is so powerful in its reflection. And I think it's just one of the most watchable, propulsive 3-hour movies ever made. I think it's You could talk about it for hours. I could talk about it for hours. So hold on. How long have we been going? Like 2.5.
Mhm.
So if we've got like 2 more hours, I think I'd like to take kind of a soliloquy.
Don't think we can do that today, buddy.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Barry Lyndon is my vote.
Okay. All right. Dan.
This is really hard. I'm really glad that we're not taking any of these out because I think this is a perfect lineup. I really do love One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That ensemble, the characters, it's so well drawn. You feel like you are a part of this community. Barry Lyndon, I I am not a super fan of Kubrick, but the craft on display in that movie is is ridiculous. And the satire is so sharp. It still sings even so many years later. Dog Day Afternoon, I just said all the great things when talking about how I would give Sidney Lumet the win. Jaws is like, we don't get blockbusters this good anymore, this well-rounded, this um invested in character and ideas, and it's mind-blowing to watch that now and realize, God, this thing broke all box office records. This thing, it's insane. But to me, Nashville tops all of them. Sorry, Josh. It is just really, you hear talk a lot of movies that are like mosaics or quilts, these patchwork, combination of stories to tell a larger picture. And to me, Nashville has always sort of been like the ne plus ultra of that kind of movie. It really is taking all these very disparate characters and stories around a central event and using it to tell a story that really feels like America in microcosm. It's amazing. The ensemble work in it is insane. The sound work between all the music and just the overlapping dialogue and everything else that's going on is out of this world. It is the only one of these movies, if I'm being honest, that if you ask me on a random day, no matter how I'm feeling, I would want to put it on.
I'm not going to make it any easier because I'm actually going to pick Jaws. I was thinking a lot about this because Barry Lyndon, I think, for me, is the best film here. Like, for me personally, I think
Yeah, that
it is
makes
just
sense that
such
you're
a
voting for Jaws then.
significant achievement, but we're doing a retrospective, and I'm thinking back on cultural impact and what has really stood the test of time. And there's really, for me, at least if I'm thinking of it from that angle, really nothing like Jaws. I do think, I know it's the populist pick, and I just spent the last category talking about an art history class I took and went into my nerdiness there. But I think like when I am thinking about just the perfect blockbuster and something that I wish films today were more like, and something, if you think about just how influential it is, and I think just how perfect it is, and the fact that it just came from a young Steven Spielberg and is still my favorite Steven Spielberg movie. That's another thing. Like, yes, I am more of a Kubrick fan and more of a Barry Lyndon fan, but if I'm just thinking about the film here out of these five that, I don't know, yeah, has it's not even the fact that again it's just still so popular and still something that's talked about every summer. It's the fact that how we talk about small governments, how we talk about people being afraid of change and resistant to that. And it's in each little character. It's Mrs. Kintner to Robert Shaw as Quint to the man who says a what when the tiger shark is mentioned. I think it's just it's a perfect movie. So I'm gonna pick Jaws.
It is in a lot of ways the platonic ideal of a Best Picture winner, like a
That's what I'm going
perfect
with. Thank you.
movie that people love. Yeah. So
Right.
totally
Eric.
fair.
I'm actually going to do the inverse of Sophia's pick with choosing Barry Lyndon as my best picture while having Spielberg as my director. It almost seems like the inverse makes more sense, and I feel like it does. I feel like it does make more sense. But I wanted to choose both in a way that was going to make me happy. And obviously, what I feel about Jaws and seeing it, and like Sophia said, just what it means and the cultural impact of it is beyond anything that of these films. But I love Barry Lyndon in a way that's completely different from that. I mean, I love Dog Day Afternoon. That's completely different from that as well. And I'm glad that we gave Pacino that win, because it would have been heartbreaking to not have something outside of original screenplay, which was such a gimme anyway. So yeah, I think Barry Lyndon is a ridiculous, magnificent epic.
One of the great epics of all time, that's for sure. I'm going with the split as well. Sorry to Nashville. I love Nashville. It's crazy when like the fourth or fifth best Robert Altman movie is on a lineup here, and it's still a bona fide masterpiece, and it hits home to this day.
To be fair, it is kind of the consensus best Altman film. But I know you and I kind of disagree.
We kind of disagree on that, but
that's like not to say that it's not.
It's not great. It doesn't. Yeah, exactly. It's still 5 out of 5. That means there's 4 other films that are just as good and not even better. Dog Day Afternoon's fantastic, but I awarded the placement I wanted to award it, which was Al Pacino's incredible performance in that. Barry Lyndon, I awarded what I wanted to award there with it, and we did with Kubrick's direction, which I think is wonderful. There's in Cuckoo's Nest, like Josh, rewatch, hadn't seen it in a long time, really grew, really beautiful film. But remember when I said that last film you watch is really important, because you just think about it a lot. And you just think about like, how the fuck did they do this? And that's Jaws. And how Jaws still works 50 years later is still tense, is still exciting, is still compelling, it's still hilarious. And those 3 performances are so good. We talked about Scheider, Dreyfuss. They're incredible in this film. And again, it is from somebody that is in the very early stages of their career. And they are already showcasing that they are going to be one of the greatest directors of all time. And it has lived on for 50 years. It's a phenomenon the year it comes out. It defines what a blockbuster should be. And we've, for the most part, as society, have gone a little bit more towards the Star Wars route of things a couple of years later as to what, a blockbuster would become. But this is what a blockbuster is to me, which is character and direction and production and story and all these things coming together to create something lasting, entertaining, and fun. I shout out with Jaws every year down here, the Alamo Drafthouse down on Lake Travis, they sponsor an event where you can watch the film on the water, and they do it a couple times a year during the summer, and they have people in the water swim around during certain times to scare the shit out of you. And I've heard that people scream like it was 1975 all over again. Not something I will ever do in my lifetime, because I think that is not something I want to partake in. But I think that that's still cool that a movie like this 50 years later is getting people to go and do something like that and try to at least invoke the memory of what it was like, of the mania of like what Eric was talking about, which is seeing this movie and being terrified of going into like literally your pool, not the ocean, your pool, being terrified of that. That is something that's even crazier. You have the epic snub that we corrected here today, but there's just something about too Spielberg's direction, his youth mixed with these performances, mixed with maybe the most iconic score in modern cinema, at least the last 50, 60 years, and creating John Williams, who would go on to then be the greatest composer of all time. It all still works. And I loved it. I watched it today. And the true factor of, again, of another movie like this, I mean, you would probably say this for all these films, but I was watching the film, I was about halfway through, and, you know, you're going to need a bigger boat is about to come on the screen. And my wife was getting ready, she was going out for a little bit. She just stopped in her tracks, sat down, and finished the movie with me. It sucked her right back into that water. And that's the last thing about Jaws, is that it's always just gonna, all these other films, they're thoughtful, beautiful. But for me, I think Jaws is the one that I'm gonna put on. Maybe it's the most rewatchable, I think, because you're gonna put it on, maybe you're about 15, 20 minutes or 30 minutes left to go, and you're gonna stop in your tracks and watch it. And it's the cliche answer to pick a Spielberg movie. Who gives a shit? It's the right answer. Like Jay said, it's a good movie. And it's not just a good movie. It's a great movie.
I mean, we've given Tarantino Best Picture like 7 times, I think. So, and look, I love Ryan to death. He'll go.
Yeah.
Like he'll go.
Yeah.
That was a robust explanation for why you love that film.
Jaws. And it's also not my favorite Spielberg, but it's in my top 4. And it's
top 4. It's the same with, it's kind of the same with Altman, right? And
yeah. But there's something about this one with Sophia. There's like, but legacy, and sometimes with Best Picture, I don't always pick my favorite films. I pick also films that I think define the year, define its place in history, and that's that film.
No, I do.
That in Nashville, I think, represent that.
Definition of 1975.
Yeah.
Jaws is kind of the one.
It's that, or
I'm going
Nashville.
I'm going with my heart.
Yeah. I wanted to do a split too. I think that was kind of how I was thinking of it. It was like, I love so many of these movies. How would I do that? How do I represent the most? I don't know. I mean, I didn't split for Barry Lyndon, I guess, when I did director and screenplay, but
it is interesting that you and Eric had opposite perspective.
Uh-huh.
I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
Well, we're at a tie.
Oh yeah.
Because there's 2 Barry Lyndons, there's 2 Jaws, there's 1 Cuckoo's Nest, and 1 for Nashville.
Day. No, it was for Nashville.
Dog Day did not get a vote, sadly.
Yeah.
So
sorry, Dog Day.
That breaks my heart, but I get it.
We will go around the horn for second place. What?
Well, yeah. Should
we just do the 2 that didn't vote for the?
Yeah, just ask me and Dan.
Yeah, we can do that.
There.
So
let's do that.
Dan and
I was gonna say, because my second place would be Cuckoo's Nest, which would help nothing.
Okay.
So,
But between Barry Lyndon and Jaws, let's see what happens then, and if we're still a split, then we'll
Joshua Parham.
Okay.
Where will you go? To war or to the ocean?
I think I will pick Jaws.
Okay. He's getting on that boat. All right. Dan.
Ryan,
What are you picking?
you're gonna need a bigger boat.
Yeah, okay.
I'm picking Jaws.
I mean, that's cool.
I thought he was going to say you need a bigger boat, and he was going to pick Barry Lyndon. You know, I'm like,
that would be mean for me to do. Like, no, it's another tie.
It's another tie. Figure that math out. You know what I mean? No, we picked Jaws. Jaws is our winner. The winners adapted screenplay is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Best original screenplay is Dog Day Afternoon. Robert Shaw for Jaws and supporting actor. Lily Tomlin for Nashville, supporting actress. Al Pacino for Dog Day Afternoon for best actor. Isabella Gianni for best actress. Stanley Kubrick for Barry Lyndon. Best Director, and Jaws is our Best Picture winner. I think we did a good job.
It's a good
I
spread.
like
Very spread of the
Good
wealth. Good job, guys.
That is cool.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. It's not what you
more of
thought. Not what you thought, Eric? No.
No.
I did not think
Again,
Jaws was going to win Best Pick.
I didn't.
No,
either.
I did not think that either. I thought this was going to be Barry Lyndon.
Well,
Honestly.
that's
Even if
why.
I would have voted for Barry Lyndon, though, I think it would have been Jaws in the end.
That's why we play the game. All right.
I think I want to say though, I think the other reason why this is such a perfect lineup is how many of these films, not only in their own legacies, have been able to withstand the test of time, but in 2025 feel extremely relevant.
Yeah.
In a way that maybe I wish that they didn't. I wish they felt dated, but they don't. It's alarming.
What a crop.
Just watching that mayor in Jaws today, and I was like, God damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, have you ever seen anything more
It is, but
MAGA
yeah,
than
I mean,
It's not getting any better. You know,
We're a
regularly-
summer town. We need summer dollars. Like,
I
it's right
regularly
there.
talk about my father-in-law, who anytime I go and visit the in-laws, it's just like we're watching the most recent Netflix just garbage.
like the newest Zack Snyder movie.
That's when I catch
Russo
up on
Brothers.
the worst
Yeah.
movies currently being made. And then it was like the week before 4th of July. So I was like, let's watch Jaws. Like Jaws let's do it. And you haven't seen Jaws in a while. And so we watched Jaws. And then afterwards he was like, that movie's so good. It's just like everybody loves
They
Jaws.
got him. Ah. But he still
And
only
it
gave
is
it
a movie
2.5
where
on
even-
Letterboxd.
Where
which is
he
weird.
was like, whoa, that was a really well done sequence. And I'm like, yeah, it's sort of great filmmaking that you can translate. It's just incredible stuff. That's Spielberg. It's Spielberg magic.
Was that before or after you guys watched The Old Guard 2?
Haven't seen Old Guard 2 yet.
It's coming.
I imagine the next film we'll watch is what's the Zack Snyder space movies? What are those called?
Rebel Moon.
Yeah, I've seen one. Haven't seen two yet. Maybe
Haven't
we'll check
seen
that
the
out next
other
time.
one.
There's
Mhm.
another?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there were
Oh, yeah.
two.
Okay. If you say
Josh,
so.
can you tell everybody where they can find you and all your work on the internet, Josh?
You can find me on Twitter, Blue Sky, and Letterboxd at JR Parham, and you can find my work over at Next Best Picture and AwardsWatch.
Gambear.
You can find me on Twitter at Dance and Dan on Film, on Letterboxd and Blue Sky at Dance and Dan, and my longer form writing on Next Best Picture and AwardsWatch.
Jay?
Yeah, hold on. I've got my Lord Bullingdon
Oh.
John Williams here. Let me see if I can get him to do it. Jet, you ready? Let's go. Donna. Donna. Donna, 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 Donna. Nope, he's not gonna do it.
No, he's not going to
He
do
normally
it.
loves to do it, but I don't know. Find me at Letterboxd Jay Ledbetter. Just some of the best podcasting going. With a toddler around. Letterboxd Jay Ledbetter podcast Director Watch on this very podcast feed.
Yeah.
One of the great podcasts around.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Everyone on this show has been on it before, which really speaks to the quality of it.
Everyone's going to be
And-
on this Verhoeven series. That's
Yes,
here.
everyone will have been on the Verhoeven series.
Yeah.
I am currently defending against a toddler the same way that Robert Shaw was defending against the giant shark, which means I will probably get consumed in the same way. And Twitter at Mr. J Ledbetter. I never post except for about the podcast, but go check that out.
Okay, sounds good. Eric?
Obviously awardswatch.com. That's where you'll always find me. On Twitter, awards_watch, and awardswatch everywhere else.
Sophia?
You can find me on Twitter at Sophia_Sim, Blue Sky, and Letterboxd at Sophia Sim. You can find my podcast, Oscar Wilde, wherever you listen to podcasts, and you can find more podcasts, reviews, interviews, and more at AwardsWatch.
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, Blue Sky, Ryan McQuade 77. If you like podcasts, like Jay said, we have the Director Watch podcast that's released on Thursdays. This week's episode, we're doing Starship Troopers. It's a really fun episode. If you listened to the Showgirls episode last week, you know how wild that one was. I cannot promise that it is as wild as that, but I can tell you it's worth your time. It's a lot of fun, that episode.
It's a good podcast.
It's a good podcast. We've been having a good time recording those. iTunes, Spotify, 5-star reviews. We greatly appreciate it. While you're on the website, please sign up for the newsletter that Erik does every week. It's the best place to get all the news, reviews, interviews, podcasts sent to you all in one place. Next week, we will be back. We will be talking about Fantastic Four. Those first steps. We got to find out how those first steps are, because Marvel, they might be in trouble. So Fantastic Four.
The early reactions for that one are apparently saying it's the next, I don't know, 8.5.
I know.
Next Marvel movie.
You mean?
Is what
I mean,
saying.
Jay. It's not like it's not like they, all the positive ones come out first, and then we all see it on Monday, and then the real reactions come out, or anything like that. That's not how like any of that works. Anyway, we will be back next week to talk about that. Thank you all so much for listening, and we will see you all next time.